For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater. Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty. I wish Andrew Cuomo only the best in private life. But let tonight be the final time I utter his name.
By Soros and Mamdanimentum, he threw the election. Curtis Sliwa threw this election. Wake up, New York. Shame on you, Curtis Sliwa. You threw the election. You're a scumbag. You will never be loved in New York City ever again. You are a scumbag.
Fucking tell about Sliwa's a scumbag.
Shame on Curtis Sliwa.
He fucked the whole fucking thing
fucked
up.
New York City.
Fuck
You
Sliwa.
fucked New York City. You fucked New York City. By Soros.
and creating high-value jobs. But today, you okay? Gordon, you okay? Yeah.
Press, we're going. Thank you, press. Press, right, guys. Cameras, we're done rolling. Cameras.
Alhamdulillah, humans. Welcome to the Islamic Caliphate of the 5 boroughs of Zohar Mamdani. By Allah's grace, this is your power report. I am Dan. Bam is here as well.
Oh, yes,
He's gonna hop off the show after that one. But yes, it is. We are here. It is us. Bro, lots has happened this week. Of course, not just Zohar Mamdani's election, but a blue tsunami completely engulfed the country. Places where Democrats made gains rather are even the probably most known loss of the evening of Omar Fateh in Minneapolis. In the second round, he came just 6 points below the winner. So in doing ranked choice voting. That was very good. Also, Minneapolis is the Twin Cities, and St. Paul, just across the river, also elected a Democratic Socialist immigrant woman. I believe she's Hmong, and we've gotten great stuff happening all across the country. Republicans in California voting to screw over Trump and Texas. Listen, people are living out right now. Of course, the world is celebrating to find out that America does still have brain cells sometimes when put against the wall. And of course, we have a bunch of other world news to talk about. But all kidding aside, I got most of my opinions out about Zoran in the This Space Live election coverage, in the Welcome to Hell Zoran Mamdani video that I dropped the morning after, where I kind of described some of the, we're outside of the campaign world of dreams and now in the legislation and mayoralty world of reality and harsh realities and tough decisions. But, I wish everyone the best, and I am excited to hear Bam's thoughts on this and more.
Well, Mr. Mamdani, like you said, Dan, welcome to hell, because you got what you prayed to Allah for, and or Ali, I don't know, he's Shia, so but yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like so pessimistic and like be like that, because I feel like then I'm being like a New Yorker, but I'm just like in my mind, I'm just like, it's all downhill from here, dude.
No, I said the same. I said the same thing. And I'm not saying that downhill is going to be like a straight line slope downwards, but it is going to be a slope of some line going downwards if we're going to speak in math, right? Because it's just the brutal realities of politics. But I think that if you're looking for signs of hope, I think there are some there with how quickly, the big criticism, one of the big criticisms was like, okay, New York City is so intertwined with New York State. How are you going to be able to actually govern? Governor Kathy Hochul is doing rallies with Zoran Mamdani, both just in the weeks leading up to the mayoral race and after, talking about how they're going to work together on their agenda. Now, it's expedient for Hochul to jump onto the bandwagon of where energy in the party is coming, especially as she is looking for a re-election next year, I believe. But, cynicism aside, because, she's not going to budge. She's still not paying attention to the people who are shouting at her to, chanting at her to raise taxes on the rich. But, there are signs that pressure is building, and we'll see, will the Mamdani campaign translate into pressure that Mamdani can use in like a bully pulpit sense? And will that bully pulpit last long enough through the inherent sort of like, disappointments that will naturally come about from any sort of mayoral election, from like, oh, this pothole didn't get fixed. I thought Zoran was going to fix it, all the way up to, well, damn, nightlife Mamdani, you're out here like Eric Adams at the hookah lounges, and at first it was a little dim sum dates with your wife, and now we're doing you're out in the East Village. Now you're going to all the $4 sign restaurants. You're meeting with bankers and Jamie. Like, I don't know. He's not doing all this stuff. I'm saying you don't get anything done in New York City without corruption. So let's see what corruption Zoran picks, or what corruption Zoran doesn't pick, and try to get things done with the corruption in New York fighting against him. That's a safety issue, honestly. We've seen what NYPD did with Bill de Blasio's daughter during the Black Lives Matter protests for fun, by the way. So, yeah, it's real out here.
Now, I don't know if you spelled his name wrong on purpose. Are you trying to give Republican vibes?
I honestly missed it. Thank you for correcting it.
I know you're trying to give. I don't know. You already turned on him. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like ultimately, I'm excited for the dude. Like he has a lot of ambition, and crazier things have happened. Hopefully he can do all the things that he wants to do as mayor of New York, and take that to whatever heights he wants to take it. I do think that a lot of the attacks on him, like the you know, the Islamophobic stuff, I think that's gonna die out. Like, you know, that's like, I feel like a lot of that stuff is just gonna go away, and people are really just gonna judge him as a mayor. And yeah, like Cuomo's political career is over. I feel like he doesn't like Cuomo doesn't have the like he's not like Trump. Trump is just like waiting in the wings to just talk shit every day about like when Biden was president. Like Cuomo don't have the energy for that. Like, and I don't know if he has Twitter. So like no,
It's
like he's not.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, it's funny how quickly both Andrew Cuomo and Eric Adams are like, fine, fuck it, we're done campaigning. Jesus Christ, okay, I'm sick of like, you know, pretending that I actually wanted to be mayor or whatever. Like, they all gave up Wednesday morning afterwards.
Oh yeah, no, like what like the only person I could see trying to like bring his own momentum back after this is Eric Adams. Like Eric Adams might be waiting in the wings to like be on Twitter and, you know, building his like clout up to like shit on Mamdani and try to get back mayor after. But Cuomo's done. But yeah, like maybe Eric Adams will go that like Trumpian route of like, let me just trash this dude for everything on Twitter and whatever. Like, does anybody other than Donald Trump use Truth Social? Like, I've never, like, I don't know if it's actually a platform.
Him and his fans, not really. I'm gonna see if I can find the video, but Eric Adams is already talking about like, yeah, I'm getting all these calls from across the world where they're like, they want to take what I did with New York City and they want me to do it there. So, you know, I might do some consulting, but I'm looking forward to it. I don't have to be mayor anymore. I don't have to talk to you anymore. He was gesturing to the media like, I don't have to deal with you anymore. I can take private planes in peace. I can go on vacations. Like, no. Eric Adams is, he put in his 2 weeks a week and a half ago. He is out. He is mentally checked out. He is gone. Andrew Cuomo's like, you know, the Cuomo family are sore losers, so he can't contest the race because he just got blown out twice. He can't, you know, complain about it because he's already a Nepo baby. If he wants to jump off a bridge, at least his dad's got one named after him, so that'd be kind of nice. But, you know, he doesn't seem like he's sad or anything. He's just like, you know, I never wanted to do this anyways. Like, I'm done, which is kind of what you got from his campaign. But yeah, you know, it's the Zorn campaign. I know you don't have a ton of thoughts on it because it's just the mayoral elections race. I know the South Koreans had thoughts on it. Shout out C's with whatever fucking newspaper he was reading.
Well, no, I do think like there is some level of like national importance to it because, I mean, although I do think, you know, media is going to overblow some stuff, but whatever, that's just the name of the game. But
media is all based in New York too, so.
Right. But because he's running as, you know, a democratic socialist, you know, this is like you know, this fool's a triple minority. Like, you're Indian, you're African, and you're Muslim, dude. Like, that might be the worst comment. No, I'm joking. Just joking. But you know, he's an unlikely candidate on that level, and then obviously he's an unlikely winner, you know. But New York City is like it's gotten more and more diverse over the years. So like, and I think like we said this initially when we talked about him, like he's literally just a New Yorker. Like he is just like a very, very much a New Yorker. Like, and you know, he really represents the millennial New Yorker, you know. So yeah, I think that it's an important victory, but at the same time, I don't think it like represents like a shift in like national politics necessarily. Like he won in New York, I don't think he's winning it everywhere necessarily. But Yeah, shout out to him, and maybe he will be out there with the other Shia people on Ashura whipping themselves. I don't know. I don't know if he got it like that,
but History of Islam Part 2.
You know what I'm saying?
It's me. It's now me.
It's right there.
This is my fault now. I take responsibility for this.
And it's lit too. It is lit.
What was I just about? There's a couple of races really quickly I wanted to go through. Other than the one in New York. Because I think they are barometers for how people are feeling overall. Like back in the day, like we have Trump 2.0. If there's anything good that has come out of it, and I can't even do my in defense of joke, like this has just been such a horrible administration and horrible time. But if anything good can come out of it, it's that it has given room for liberals to be mask off. And if liberals are mask off, then, the socialists don't have to do anything. Like, you don't have to be like, socialists can turn, the Democratic socialists are like, that wing of the party. They can turn to the wonks, the policy heads. Like, they can do all that debating stuff. And then, like, let the wine moms and the liberals and the centrists, like, let them do the red meat stuff. Like, they have 401ks and shit. Like, they'll be fine. I think case in point, you go to Virginia, which is both a much more conservative state. It's within the South, it's south of Mason-Dixon, and it also has a number of federal employees that are around the government apparatus who haven't been liking this shutdown that much. And so not only did, Virginia elected a couple of, moderate liberal type Democrats for governor specifically, but the attorney general, this guy named Jay Jones, who, bam, you know what time it is. We're reading the text full mast. Full mast. Because have you seen the full threads?
Yes.
Oh man, I only saw the full threads today, and I'm like, damn, is this our group chat or what? Okay.
You feel me? I was like, well, yeah, I've said worse.
I've literally said worse.
Oh yeah,
group chats within the last week. All right, that's the context. It's like like that's the show, but it's like Dan's group chats leak, and it says this, checks out. Someone who's like a card-carrying DSA member who like is a poster from the first Trump administration who had a couple thousand followers on Twitter, got some big retweets, whatever. How you pop off your jokes a little bit. Sometimes you fly too close to the sun, get some bans. This leaks from their group chat. Like, and this is one of the Chapo guys. Like, of course, this dude's a liberal. Like, he's one who would like badmouth the left. Right, he's someone who would say, "Oh, the left is extreme and going too far, and we don't want all this agenda." Let me. I got my glasses. I've got my reading beverage with me. Let's kick off the festivities here. One of these text threads, and the last thing I'll also say about this is that the thing that makes this text thread pretty amazing is that Jay Jones let his nuts hang. He sent this to his Republican colleague. And I think Felix Biederman said, like, if you do that, like, it doesn't matter if you're friends. They just have like a political obligation to leak the text. And so I bet he was like, do it. Homeboy says, so this conservative is responding with the blue text naturally. And the conservative goes, they say nice things about everyone, LOL. Jay says, if those guys die before me, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves. Send them out awash in something. And this person's like, scolding him and saying, Jay Jones, I can't believe you're saying this. And Jay Jones like, oh, I'm saying this. Let me double down. Quote, 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets. And I'm not done. I did not say end quote. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. Like literally a Pol Pot reference. I'm like, do we really just link my text? Sorry, let me read. Oh my god. Someone said, I asked you point blank. I point blank asked you more than 3 times, and you dug it and meant it. I'm honestly questioning a lot today. To which Jay Jones responds, do I think Todd and Jennifer, other like conservatives in the state legislature, are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. Did I mention Jay Jones is like, you know, a little bit of a half and half?
This dude literally sounds like you in the, yes, I've told you this before, only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. That sounds like a Dan quote right there.
Verbatim.
Like verbatim.
And it came from, man, I hate that I'm even doing my boy like this, but it came from this guy. Oh, God. Mr. Dubois. Lord, man. Like, and again, this guy, there's a Meghan McCain tweet that was like, how am I supposed to feel safe in a state like Virginia where the people in power are perfectly fine with causing harm to my family? And everyone was like, pretend you live in DC, and, you know, pretend it's Trump. Like, you know, it's just, it's so, but I can't stress enough. This guy's not Zora Mamdani. This guy's not even Kamala Harris. This guy is like, ideologically speaking, a Pete Buttigieg, maybe, right? But they saw the text and they voted him in harder. Like, that's what happened in Virginia. They saw the text from listen, if there's the guy who was talking about his barber and Pol Pot next to each other and you had 2 bullets, I know I'm saving one for the barber, all right? But they voted in this guy over a Republican, over anybody else. And again, these are the liberals. If you think that, oh, you're going to work with this guy, or you think this is bad, he is holding the line for even more anger from even more centrist people, frankly, right? Like, listen, I don't know, like, I'm not going to support this guy, but if he gets in the office and keeps throwing haymakers, he's going to get clipped on the show a lot.
I mean, has he had a like press conference apologizing or anything like that? Well, because he's gonna have he's gonna have a press conference soon. You know, I guess he's gonna apologize, but hopefully he doesn't cry.
Yeah, let me look at his like account or something. I mean, he gave an acceptance speech. He gave like a full victory speech. It's 6 minutes long. I'm not going to watch it right now, but I mean, just like, talk about profiles and courage, but also like, you're the Attorney General of Virginia. Like, I know what are you going to do? Arrest him is like a very trite thing in the Trump administration because, yeah, they're probably going to try at this point. But again, this is the nicest guy you're going to get from now on from the left. Everyone else is going to make me look like a saint. And they're going to be a lot more moderate than even I am.
Wait, I'm like, was he elected Attorney General or Lieutenant Governor?
Attorney General.
Attorney General.
He is the top cop of Virginia, and he wants more Charlie Kirk.
Hey, whoa! Whoa!
Hey, Bam, to be fair, it was a little bit more like, okay, I'm done. They said it's Rigor Morgan said it's gorgeous when you die. Okay. Anyways, California Proposition 50 I actually voted in this. You should have seen the look on the face at the New York City USPS when I brought them a California ballot on election day. They're like, they really let y'all do this shit. Wow, that's amazing.
They took a picture and sent it to Trump.
Right. No, I mean, it was the Postal Service. So, of course, there was some black ladies working behind there. So I think we're good.
Right.
But no, one of them was, I knew one of them was legit because they're like, we're going to have to get you a bump. And I'm like, a bump? What's that? And it's Postal Service speak for a special stamp they use to certify that it's postmarked on election day so that it actually counts as it's qualified. Because, even the way California goes, if that ballot were postmarked the day after election day, they wouldn't count it. But California counts mail-in ballots about 3 weeks after the election, which is why California votes and ballots in general, especially ballot measures and initiatives, are very slow to come in. It takes a long time. It's very hard to, it takes a long time to figure out who the winner was. So it's funny how 6 minutes after polls closed, everyone called Proposition 50 approved.
Called it a what?
They called it approved. Like usually California votes take like hours, and it's the last one of the evening. So like everyone on the East Coast is in bed by the time they have results. 6 minutes. I was there at the Zoran Raj party. I was like, okay, polls closed at 11. I did some interviews. I turn around 11:04. Gavin Newsom's cheering. I'm like, yeah, damn. And then the next morning I wake up and I look at some of the maps from LA Times, like showing by like breakdown. I'm like, Riverside County approved this?
Oh, so
Orange
many.
County approved this?
So many Republican areas approved it. So many.
Fresno County approved this? Silicon Valley, like Contra Costa County approved this. Like
the funniest
God.
The funniest thing is that I was talking to Caesar about it, and I was like, honestly, this whole time I only saw one anti-Prop 50 ad, and I saw the pro Prop 50 ad a million times. And literally today, November 6th, 2 days after the election, I got something in the mail that was against Prop 50, like a anti-Prop 50 thing in the mail today. I'm like, these guys were not putting that much effort to go against this. They knew it was not going to happen.
And these Republicans do not have the makings of a varsity athlete. They got, and again, I still found a way to blame Democrats here, but Democrats got so bad that Republicans got so used to phoning it in every single time that the one time where like, okay, the odds are completely stacked against them and the Democrats put in like 0 plus 1 amount of effort. Cleaning. It's a cleaning. There was a poll done by a really good polling agency, SRSS. And if I'm gonna like ballpark the numbers, in November of 2017, so 1 year after Trump was elected, Trump would have been in office for, let's call it like 10 months or so, right? Almost, going on 10 months. Trump's like the way people felt about the economy, Trump's first term, November 2017, it was like 70% are in favor of how Trump was handling the economy, 30% not in favor. 2025, the numbers flipped. 70% of Americans in November 2025 disapprove of how Trump is handling the economy. I'm going to let that marinate. In big 2025, 75% of Americans do not approve of Trump, the buildings and money guy, to handle the economy. Man, we're reaching the point where maybe the Democrats there may be nothing the Democrats can do to fuck this up next year. Real bad. It's like usually it's like, damn, it's all that's left is for the Democrats to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, and that's just then everything's set. But like, no, it's like, oh wow, this is looking good. This is looking real good.
Well, and what Trump is doing is just lying on Truth Social about like Walmart's prices, like literally just like lying about shit. And I saw something or heard something that I don't know how true it is, but like somebody was telling Trump about the economic numbers or whatever, and he said, I'm going to look at it in January or some shit like that. Like, I don't even know. I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like, not only was what he was saying on the campaign trail a bunch of just like political bullshit, but he's like also done stuff. Like, there was probably only so much he could do, so to speak, to like change where the macro economy is. But he's done things to make it worse. Like, everybody knows that the tariffs make shit more expensive, or just the threat of making shit more expensive. And now also everybody knows that you gave 20 or 40 billion dollars to Argentina. And
to say nothing of the other subsidies and soybeans and everything, like
right, and like
beef, all that.
I don't even like. Obviously, I don't know what they talk about on Fox News. Like, I have no idea. But like, I'm sure at some point they brought up the money to Argentina. Like, at some point they brought up that China is not buying American soybeans anymore because of their tariff. The really funny thing that I took from Trump's ridiculous trip to Asia this past week or whatever, he came back. Like, you're supposed to come back. Like, you said the meeting with Xi Jinping was a 12 out of 10, but you got nothing on soybeans, dude. Like, that's what you're supposed to talk to him about. Like, talk to him about the damn soybeans. Like, you said the meeting was a 12 out of 10, and you did not come back with anything about these soybeans that people cannot sell.
Bam, I think it's actually worse because I feel like they came out of that meeting, they decided to lower the tariffs back down again, which would include lowering the tariffs on the soybeans. Like, it's a triple whammy. You're gonna, like, Trump is hurting, and like the way the Chinese media is, like, it's amazing. When you hear Chinese foreign officials speak, especially compared to Trump, it's like hearing Obama officials speak. They're just like,
right.
Well, that was crazy, but we want to be measured about this. We're gonna, come to the negotiating table if we want to negotiate, but we're fully prepared to take all the legal measures needed to protect our economic system. I mean, we're gonna do that. It's like, yep, tough but fair. That's very reasonable stuff. Trump's crazy town. I have a compilation that way back when Power Report guest Jordan Ewell put together of some Republican freakouts that I'm going to play here in just a second. And I want to get into some of the comments from that are in the chat here. But yeah, hold on. Let me get this going. Chromebook days are about to be behind us. We are getting there. Not fucking fast enough. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, this is great. Come on, buddy. There we go.
To Zoran Mandami.
Well, you can't imagine how disappointed I am. This is a horrible blow.
I honestly feel bad. I have friends of mine in New York. My phone is blowing up. They are officially depressed and scared.
And this was also a hostile takeover by the Democratic Socialists of America.
And this is a crazy situation. It's a very, very sad night.
Made him the stylish candidate as
exactly.
well.
Exactly. The rapping video.
The cool kid.
Older people. This isn't just Gen Z or Gen X.
I agree with you.
Boomers and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I see this as a disaster for New York City. And
Zoran Mamdani. All right. Well, I want to bring in our panel. They'll cheer me up. They'll cheer all.
So yeah, this is like, it's funny because like they don't even feel like, obviously they got routed and obviously they got defeated, but they're not. It honestly felt like when I was peeping in, they were playing up the doom and gloom and fear because they know like fucking nothing's gonna happen. And I saw someone on TikTok today where they were like on the train and they were like on a subway and they were like, it's really interesting. everyone's dead silent today here in New York. And it's just like a subway car of people, like, reading books, like on their phone. Like, it's the downtown 4 train at rush hour heading back home. Like, you thought there were going to be prayer rugs out and shit. You thought people were going to be like, you thought this was like the L train in Bushwick where you had the hipsters are like raving all the time. Like, no, people are going home to work. Like, you could have taken that video any day in New York City, including 9/11, and you would have gotten the same, just people silent on the train, just minding their business. All right. So yeah, it's just like when last year, when people on the left were visibly upset about the election, myself included, the past 365 days have proven all those things to be correct. The great quote that Zoran had was Bill Ackman was throwing millions of dollars into the campaign a day, which is more than Zoran would even tax him. It's like it was a complete phony, made up thing. This whole, put all your votes into Cuomo, like support Cuomo. The fact that I'm not going to rehash it, but that's just all there. It is just very, very funny.
It's funny, and also I mean, we'll see, but it's going to be funny. But how much more they pay attention to New York. I feel like they're going to have their stories no matter what every once in a while. Oh, the crime in New York, the rats, the crime. I don't know, whatever else, the subways. But I wonder if Zoran is like that. I wonder if he's that inspirational candidate or winner now, or mayor, that like also makes people want to do better. like, you know what? I'm not gonna take that lady's purse.
You mean it makes people like want to behave better as citizens?
You know what I mean? Like, maybe he's that kind of inspirational guy. People like, you know what? Zoran's mayor, dude. Like, let me not do that shit. Like, let me not go slide on the ops. You know what I mean? Like, let me not put out this drill song. Let me make a friggin' positive song. Like, where's Mos Def at? Like, who knows? He might be that guy.
Bam, this is New York. And if Mr. Rogers were mayor,
come on, man,
they'll be shooting each other up on Rogers Avenue. I'm sorry.
No, if he was black, Mr. Rogers, he might be that guy, dude. He might, somebody might not want to play knockout game. I'm joking.
I mean, I will say this, and this is true about New York before Mamdani got in here. Trump did that like fun pretend like little ice raid down the street in Flatbush in Little Haiti, and them Trinidadians, random ICE agents out the street, man. Like, it was,
it's called machetes.
It's just I've seen in many cases, my own personal experiences, just like looking out and seeing different things happen so much. Like, it is true this is such a chaotic city. It's true that's an ungovernable city. It's a blessing and a curse. But when it comes to that, if the Knicks win, or if people start getting snatched off the streets, like, this place is Gotham. Like, for better or for worse. Like, truly, if the power goes out, or if there's an anti-Trump rally, everyone's going to be hitting the streets. Like, that's just how it is, right? I think, it depends on the context, right? Like, if the power's out, purse is going to get snapped. I'm sorry. People going to be putting their hands in the cash registers for no reason and taking their money. Their money is your money. Like, that's the stuff that's going to be happening. But what I think Zoran can do, and, I even feel it, like, he is going to motivate other people who didn't think it was possible for them to run for office and win. He's going to hopefully motivate people who have that same sort of thinking, or like, you know, have thought that running for politics was not something they could do in this world, in this environment, he's going to open a window, I think, for other people to kind of follow that model. I think similarly to what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's win did for boosting up Justice Democrats in the squad and all of that different stuff. You're going to have some winners and you're going to have some losers. Your people will come and go. Shout out Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush and Zateo right now. But like, that's the inevitable thing that is going to happen. Zoran is going to, you know, provide a model, inspire some, you know, much needed morale. And that's important. That can't be understated. I don't like, you know, I don't love the fandom of politics, the fandom of political or making of political celebrities, or, you know, making political commentators or pundit celebrities. Like, I've talked about that all the time. And so my criticisms there and wanting to get towards the realism of the Mamdani campaign have already been stated. But I definitely don't like the people who are like, God, I hate Zoran Mamdani because he's taking democratic socialism, but now he's working in the Democratic Party and he's going to water it all down and you're all going to get Obama again. And it's just like, I got no time for that shit. I got no time for that shit, man.
No, it's well. Then there's also the even farther left that are like, well, he's just a Zionist too, or whatever the hell. But yeah, the way that I am, which is, you know, I'm not saying that anybody else got to be like this, but I just don't really get excited for campaigns. You know, I don't really get excited about politicians like that because you gotta do it. Like it sounds great, dude. It sounds hot. And, you know, and I'm going to like you more than somebody else, or I'm going to want you there more than somebody else. But you got to do it. And we got to see it. You know, like, we got to actually see it. I have said, I feel like Mamdani is running on affordability. People are really going to need to see a material difference in their pocket on the freaking Zillow, what the rent is on the apartments. Like, they're going to need to see.
We use Streeties out here, but continue.
Y'all still using Craigslist for the apartments out there? You know what I mean? They're going to need to see, like, oh, it used to be $3,600 for this 10 square foot shack apartment with you sleep on the radiator. Now it's $3,400. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. I hope he is, but if he's not, buddy, hope you got some excuses lined up. And for the people that were excited, you know, it's like, yeah, like, are you going to be disappointed and then like shit on him, or realize, like, you know, maybe there's things that are out of his control? And really, the mayor of New York, you don't just work for the people in New York, dude. Like, you are damn near probably a slave to so much big business out there. Like, that's how mayors are in small towns. Like, the small town, small city mayor's office corrupt as hell. You don't think New York City is? So, but at the end of the day, you know, I want to be optimistic. Like, I hope he can do everything he's saying, but, you know, we will see.
That we will. I will say, and I think I can get a video of this up. But yeah, we do have this. I was interviewing some people outside of one of the Mamdani, you know, watch parties for campaign supporters, DSA officials, just like people who are fans in general. And I'm not sure exactly. It's going to be one of these like YouTube shorts here. So I'm going to run through and try to play it here. But if it's not in these clips, ultimately, I do want to express that I found talking with folks in person who were like, you know, deep in the tank for Zoran and supporting him and really proud of him and like what he was doing, what he was accomplishing. They all seem pretty level-headed about the realities of being mayor and what you can get done, what you can't get done. And I think that gives me hope that like you're not going to see, now again, this is a sample size of like diehard supporters who are celebrating this. I didn't get the sense that, yeah, maybe for some people they were newer to politics, but they're not naive to politics, which was a relief for me to hear. Because, yeah, there's so much online discourse and it's easy to get engagement for, you know, drama and palace intrigue. But the real work of politics, it's messy, it's slow. I described how fast and free buses is probably, you know, the best days of that were in that little chant right there, for many reasons. But let's see. I think it's going to be in this clip. So I'm going to try to get it up on screen here. 1 second. There.
To begin.
Does this motivate you to do anything?
I think so. I think sometimes our generation has forgotten that, and hopefully this will be a catalyst to begin.
Does this motivate you to do anything?
I think so. I think it motivates me incredibly so.
Is that what a bad
What
lefty?
it shows is just it allows us to think, okay, if we do band together and become engaged civic citizens, we can achieve so much. But when we just sit at home and scroll in our like vegetative state and these things that are predisposed to control us, nothing really happens. You have to go back to basics. I have an amazing friend of mine whose mother's from the Upper West Side. She's a really old Jewish lady, and she's like an absolute weapon. And she's like, it's very simple. If you want to create change, get out in the streets and move. And I think sometimes our generation's.
Yeah, it is an Irish accent. The guy I was speaking to is from Ireland, and he's actually, because of Trump, likely having to go back to Ireland. But he's been in New York for 5 years. He was supporting the Mamdani campaign. Yeah, the sentiment I got from a lot of people there, folks can check out. I think like there's 11 hours of coverage. Around the 8th hour is when I'm on the street. But I think people are level-headed. I think people are like, you know, I hope he can get what he can get done. And what he can't get done, let's hold him accountable. But let's also understand the machines that were working against him in the election season are also going to be working against him even harder now that he's elected. Although it's very funny, all those same people, the Bill Ackmans, the Jamie Dimons, who are like, oh, we can't have a socialist mayor, it's not going to happen, are immediately doing the thing that all capitalists do. You suck it up, you pick up the phone, you dial the winner, you ask what you can do for them.
Right.
Because you know what? Everyone who said, oh, all these millionaires and billionaires, they're going to leave. Guess what Jamie Dimon just did in October? Opened up a brand new office building skyscraper for JP Morgan Chase, the big bank.
Wait, Jamie Dimon, that guy you used to work for?
Yeah, that's that guy. Yes. Close enough. But they just opened a brand new office complex. They spent billions of dollars on it. Every time a bank builds a building in New York City, it is a statement piece. It is meant to be like, we are here. This is our presence internationally. They're not leaving New York City. They're way too invested in New York City. The people who work there would not be attracted to work there if they had to show up in Fort Worth, Texas. No, they want to go in New York City because after work, they don't want to go to Dallas. They want to go to Dumbo. All right. They want the things that are in New York. They want to enjoy that stuff. They don't want Duluth. They want Ditmas Park. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to name every single fucking geographic thing I know here. But yeah, we will get to see what happens. We'll get to see politics in motion. And I think a lot of people are going to get to learn up close and personal how politics works, how it gets kind of dirty and ugly, how you don't necessarily get what you want, but if you are active and not passive in it, you can. There's one person on TikTok who was like an older millennial, and they're like laughing at like, oh, this is Gen Z's Obama 08 moment. Like, this is when they're all happy that the election is won. Like they're all singing and dancing, and it's the Black Excellence brunches will be back on session. Like all of that stuff is going to be happening. But yeah, I hope it's not going to be as drastic. I will say that Israel is considering closing their consulate in New York, so already delivering for the city.
Right. Which I'm like, stop it, dude. Like, can you stop? Like, that's literally not gonna happen. Like, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that story. But
Bam, we can get out. We can get out so clean right now.
Yeah, let's just get out clean.
Clean.
Let's get out clean.
Cool. Discount Seth Rogen saying he channeled Virgil Texas of all people. I think you're talking about Jay Jones. Hopefully he's not channeling Virgil Texas in that way. I know the way you're talking about Discount, but good to see you. Shout out to everyone in the chat, Pinkerbell, Cat, Bad Lefty, Aaron, Melanie. Good to see everyone here. Narwhal, of course. Narwhal, Monope. And yeah, that's as far as other things that were happening in domestic news other than the political wins that happened. Everything else still really bad. Government shutdown. Listen, we haven't started a power report smiling like this in a year, more than a year, honestly. So, like, that was a great Tuesday. It was a nice Wednesday. You even got a little bit of the sex glow from Thursday. Let's be honest. People are lining up at food banks because President McWhopper, that works. Because President Mick Big Mac or whatever, he has decided that people don't need SNAP benefits. Airports in Texas, speaking of Dallas-Fort Worth, airports in Texas are looking like subway stations in New York City. Like, they are crowded. Cars can't move. It's just a sea of people at these terminals because all the air traffic controllers like, fuck it, we're out. Like, we're not going to do this. We're working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. We get 4 days off a month, and you're not paying us shit. And other people are having to, find other jobs. And so people are getting asked to come in overtime. The FAA is like, fuck it. 10% of plane flights are canceled. Like, just across the board. Top 40 airports in the country, just 10% of flights canceled, not coming back. I was joking in the group chat earlier, which is apparently now politics in the center of the party. But I was like, is Trump not going to be happy until January when the only thing that's allowed to fly is Air Force One? It's really getting to be like, it's my airspace. Only I get it. It's beautiful. It's mine. It's really bad out there. Last thing, because you had mentioned Walmart earlier. No seasonal hiring. All of the big retailers that are like, we make all of our money in the month of November, or in this case, the month of December, right after our later Thanksgiving for Black Friday and everything else. No, boss. Walmart is firing. Target is, they've been hurting from boycotts on the right and the left, but they're firing both corporate workers up in Minneapolis and, store employees. We're not getting to store closures yet, but those same stores, listen, I don't be walking into Targets like that much, but I'm hearing these same stores are also not stocked as much as they were expecting to be given the season because of all the trade war and all the tariffs and how difficult it is to get things shipped around. So, yeah, the economy's bad. As I opened with in the beginning, we're 25% approval rating of the economy, which is, I don't know, man. At 75% disapproval. I don't see those numbers doing anything but going up.
Right. I was just in Target the other day, and I feel like I saw like a whole big ass shelf was empty. I thought maybe they're about to stock it. I was like, what's going on here? But whatever. Yeah, it's bad out there. And honestly, the worst part is like Trump just doesn't give a shit. Like this government shutdown, like it is not a subject that he cares about. Like it's almost like he doesn't even know what's happening because of the government shutdown. It's like he's like is completely unaware that this is the longest shutdown ever. He beat his own record, and like people are suffering because of it. It's like he has no idea because for him, he's just like, well, ICE is getting paid, and I wouldn't be surprised if soon you hear him saying, well, if those people in the federal government want a different job, they should go work for ICE because it's really just like that's what he just let the economy go to shit, so they just work for ICE, and we'll just round people up wherever and then stop elections with ICE. I don't know.
That's not far off from the idea. It's like, okay, if the only jobs that are available and sustainable in the economy are jobs with Trump's friends in the private sector, where they will not just abuse you in the workplace sort of sense, but at Elon Musk's Twitter XAI, employees had to give their biometric data to the company in order to train Grok and the mannerisms and the style and the tone of the like AI anime girlfriend that is built on top of that AI thing. So it's like they're using employees' facial features, like structures. Like imagine your boss makes an anime waifu pillow out of you. And it's like, sorry, I'm going to take pictures so I can turn you into an anime body pillow, or else you're fired. I have a word for that, but that word is staying in the group chat.
I don't even want to say it, but
no, but I guess I'm just like the main point of all that is like the economy is fucked. People are feeling it. Trump doesn't seem to care unless it's like about a political thing, because just deny the election, which is when you get Trump's gut feeling before like the right-wing media ecosystem can start to like get on message and get reorganized, which they still haven't. They've been in disarray all week, which is yummy. But Trump was saying that night, listen, we got to wrap up this shutdown real quick. The Republicans lost because people don't like the shutdown, and also my name wasn't on the ballot, him being Trump, so like of course. But I think that gives him to his thinking. He's like, this shutdown is not helping Republicans. Republicans had this betting pool that Democrats were going to cave in the first 10 days of the shutdown. Frankly, that was a good bet. Or usually would have been a good bet. But not the case right now. Republicans are really seeing that they're losing on this. And every single day they don't leave the government open, they're leaving people within the government like this much close to going postal.
Oh, right. And also I feel like the longer it goes, more Republicans in Congress and stuff are gonna speak out. Like obviously there's only been a couple now, but like give it another week, like somebody else is gonna be saying like, hey, I think we gotta do something. Yeah, it's just gonna be looking bad for Trump. I think the thing about it though, it makes him seem, and maybe I think I've also heard some other people saying this too. It does make him seem like more of a lame duck president. It's like you don't even give a damn about what's going on, like in ways that I'm like even the rhetoric, like he's not even like lying that well about it. Like it's just like, oh, it's the Democrats' fault. It's like you're not even like really putting that much effort into the lie. So yeah, like you just look bad. You look like you don't care. All you care about this freaking ballroom and like taking trips to places where they, fawn over you and you can do your dumbass dance. And also when you're talking about the airports, it's like those are things that people like that really frustrate people and like the middle class to upper middle class people. Like people go to the airport and they don't want it to look like Cairo, dude. Like this is America. You want your shit to be like, oh, it's a little packed. Oh my, let's hurry up. but they don't want it to be like it's freaking the zoo in there. So when it's directly like when people know like, oh, this is because the government shut down, like they're gonna get really upset. And I wish it was like the midterms next week. Like that'd be great. It's like that's
another reason we should have a parliamentary system, because snap elections would go so
Right.
hard in America.
Sadly, in America, snap elections would just lead to way more political violence. Unfortunately, we got too many guns for snap elections. Unfortunately, but
we call them pop elections out here. No, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about these videos you're seeing of long lines, and this is November 6th, man. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. We aren't even really in holiday travel. These are still people trying to like get their last little PTO days in before they expire for the year, right? Like, when real travel starts happening, if we're still seeing a shutdown, like, I don't know. It looks like you were reading something. What's up?
I was reading the chat. Sorry.
Oh, all good. Glad to know you're watching. No, but I'll get to that in a moment. But when you have people who are waiting in line at these airports, like I mentioned Dallas, Fort Worth, like those airports in red states are playing that like Kristi Noem Homeland Security message that's like the Democrats shutdown is why you're waiting in line even though you have clear. Like, but people are so much smart. Like, a lot of people aren't for sure, but a lot of people are smarter than that, especially the people you're talking about who travel a lot. They're like, hey, they don't usually do political messages like this, like over the intercom, like, hey, like, whoop-de-woo, okay, whatever, Botox Kristi Noem or whatever, crusty. But my wife, who works at the USDA or whatever, or my son who works the Park Service, they're not getting paid. Like, this is just hitting too many regular people right now. Right. So where you get the point to like 75% of America, which will include a substantial, not enough, but a substantial amount of Republicans, are like, this has gone too far and we're not even a year in. And this is just the economy. This is to say nothing of, dude, Trump is underwater on immigration. And I don't want to do this too long or too much, but it just always sits in me when I earlier this year made that Anna Kasparian is the dumbest woman in media video, where she was like cheering on and making a case for the ICE raids, saying Trump was elected on immigration. Trump is still popular on immigration. And I was like, you're reading polls from a couple of weeks ago before this stuff started getting really televised. Hear me now, quote me later. People ain't gonna like that shit. Fast forward to now, and Trump is underwater on the two things he was elected on: immigration and the economy. He's underwater on immigration by 10 points. And depending on how you look at the economy, whether it's trade, whether it's just, your pocketbook, like kitchen table sort of things, whether it's the job market, whether it's the stock market, everyone's like, the only people who are like, this is great, are all the AI companies who are pumping up the stock market, who hopefully this makes y'all feel good. Sam Altman, the head of OpenAI, was just talking to like one of these financial publications, and basically said that, with AI pumping up so much of the economy right now, even though it's like 10 big companies passing around the same $100. Like, I think Letterhack had this joke about the left is passing around the same $20 bill to all the other different shows. Like, that is the AI. That's the AI thing right now. And Sam Altman really hit us with the, yeah, and this is such an important part of our economy right now that if for some reason AI were to be a bubble and to pop, the government would have to jump in and save us because they'd be the lender of last resort.
They can't wait.
These fucking tech geeks who make even less than who produce even less for society than the banks that were doing collateralized debt obligations in the lead up to 2008, right? These AI companies do even less for society than that. They're like, well, yeah, Daddy Trump's going to give us a bailout because we're so important to the American economy. And it's like, it's speculation built on top of speculation. Like, it's super last thing. Powell can't say the words, Trump is fucking up, we're in stagflation. But in Fed speak, Jerome Powell basically said the words, we're getting, I don't know how he said in economic terms, but like, we're facing a point where we could see a match of both an economy that is not growing and inflation that is growing out of control, which an economy not growing means it's stagnant, and prices out of control means inflation. There's a word for that, and it's stagflation. And that was the 70s in America, and that was straight up not a good time economically. So
that's a revolution time.
And again, Jay Jones has pitchforks and torches, and his line was, I accept your vote and I'm happy to serve. He's already seen. Jay Jones is yelling, kill Whitey, and his line was, sir, put your hand on the Bible and get sworn in. Nothing's even happened yet, and you already have elected officials who are like that. So play your own risk. Play your own risk.
Well, the AI companies are like, well, Trump needs to make his jet diarrhea video, so he'll save us, and his sombrero Chuck Schumer video, so he loves us. But it's also just really funny that that's what these people are talking about, these tech guys. Because like, I thought they were all libertarians. Like, what happened to that freaking libertarian shit? You all just want to suck on the teat of the Fed.
There's one quote that's like, there's no atheist in a foxhole. There's also no libertarians in a bank run.
literally. When the government's giving out money, the libertarians will have their hand out. And they'll probably, and then they'll show their true colors. They'll just be mad that the black people have their hand out too. Except for your friend. Except for your friend. I forgot his name. He's one of the good ones. Robbie? I don't know.
Larry Eld? No.
Larry Sharp. Larry Sharp. No, he's one of the good ones. But yeah, it's this whole Trump, like, damn near want to call it experiment. Like, it's just like, what is the point? It's really like he's just in it to terrorize people on the street and enrich his family. And I was going to say about him being underwater on immigration, like, only the psycho of psychopaths like what's happening with ICE running down on people in the streets. Like, there's a very small amount of people that see that and think that that's what we need to be doing to help immigration. If Trump has to close the border basically, and also like not close, obviously people can go across the border, but like closed like asylum applications and refugee applications. I think I saw that there's only going to be 7,500, or there's been 7,500, or there's going to be 7,500, and most of them are white South Africans or something like that.
Yeah.
But people, there's a lot of people that would hear that and be like, good, we don't need to be accepting refugees or asylum seekers. They'll be happy with that. And like, if Trump was like showing ICE people or whatever, or DHS people going to jails and or prisons and picking up people that are undocumented or whatever, like, yeah, that we're going to get the criminals, the people that, they did the crime, whatever. People wouldn't really be tripping about that. But having some fucking dude in two, like, very light jeans and, like, Reeboks with a fucking mask, a shiesty on, running down the street, tearing his ACL, to try to catch some person who didn't do shit. It's like, what's going on here, dude? And you know what else I think too? There's gonna be like a lot of like hardworking, like white Republican men who see that they're gonna pay ICE 6 figures and like give them student loan forgiveness and a $50,000 bonus. Like they're gonna see that and be like, God damn, like for real? Like that's what the federal government's doing. Like you just go work for ICE and you're gonna get like this. Like I've been working this I'm a contractor at this construction site. I gotta make deals and I gotta like worry about money, and then some fucking guy can just show up and it ain't like they're all white.
Yeah, a guy can show up. Name's probably Hector too.
Literally,
and he can show up looking like the clearance rack at Big Five Sporting Goods, and get his what student loans?
Right.
His ITT Tech student loans paid off
from like 2005, one semester. Like that, like there's gonna be a lot of people that are pissed about that. Like they're gonna be like, God damn, like for real, like all these people, I can't even get the potholes fixed and shit. And I seen the ICE dude. It's actually the best ICE video I've seen so far, because I'm pretty sure it was in Anaheim. I guess they like stopped some like young Mexican dude in the car, and the Mexican dude was like talking shit to the ICE dude. The best thing about the little Mexican dude talking shit is that he drops the N-word so many times. It was great. Now, the ICE dude is like getting mad, and then the ICE dude bangs on him and says he's from F-13. I'm like, really, dude? And of course, you can't see his face. He's like, I'm from Florencia 13, fool. And he's like clowning the guy in the car, talking about like, you ain't hard. This is Disneyland over here. And then he like bangs on him. I'm like, this is what's really going on right now. There's a lot of people that I don't think that the average white dude seen that video for real, but they don't like they still have that like anti-government streak, and they're gonna be like, wow, you're just like giving like anybody off the street.
I just love the idea of MS-13 joining ICE.
The dude said he's from Florencia 13, dude. I'm like, this was gangbanging in the freaking ICE shit. The little Mexican dude was like, he's a bitch ass nigga. You a fucking cop.
Man, we don't need the Chappelle Show. We have it right here. Like,
oh yeah.
It's so, man. Thank you, because honestly, like, I'm not the point where I'm able to want to or like have the desire to play a lot of these videos of ICE raids happening and people getting injured, breaking bones, all because these people who have less training than your average donut munching, Candy Crush playing cop, and they're out here, like I said, like they were dragged through the clearance rack at Big Five Sporting Goods before they got there. No training, fucking aiming guns at people. There's one quote, which again, I love that they record themselves, and I love the courts exist for this reason. But there's one quote where a couple of ICE agents are like in Chicago, and they're going, "Yeah, let's just throw let's throw some tear gas in the crowd just for fun, just to fuck with them." And like these are the same cases where like people are calling the cops in Chicago because babies have tear gas in their eyes, because it's just, first of all, it's the Windy City, and these fucking, Chicago agents be throwing tear gas that should be blowing right back in them at their faces immediately.
It's blowing from the east side to the west side and shit.
and it's funny because like there's so many cases where they just tear gas themselves. They don't even know how these like deployments work. But the downside is this stuff spreads so much. And one time they did this like ICE raid, and they deployed a bunch of tear gas, and all the wind was moving in the direction of an elementary school that was having recess at the same time.
Oh no, come on, yo.
In Chicago, and like I don't want to play this clip, it's so heartbreaking, but they dragged a teacher out of a preschool. ICE agents dragged a teacher out of a preschool while he was teaching class, or she was teaching class. And it's just like, okay, now these kids gotta watch this. Like, what's the? And again, like Stephen Miller's horny. His wife just got to like threaten to deport Cenk Uygur on Piers Morgan. Like, you know, he loves to see all these like, we don't like you, we're gonna deport you. We don't like you, we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna cause terror and pain. And it's just like, man, keep taking videos, keep recording them, keep clowning the ICE agents. If you have citizenship and you have privilege, keep on doing it, because I listen, Jay Jones has given me the liberty to say this. The Nuremberg trials are going to look like High School Musical the next time a Democrat's in office. All these guys are going to jail. Long time.
I honestly don't think so. I don't.
No,
think
sorry. Let me say that. Dictator Dan puts them all in jail for a long time. All right, like.
No, Dictator Dan's an abolitionist, so it's like, no, you got to get the guillotine. Sorry, I don't believe in prison.
Hey, that's now we're getting the group chat. Dan, so, you know. But you know, Dictator Dan nationalizes Geo Group. No, but the only like way you rebuild a society after what ICE is doing right now, that's the prescription, is trials, like a series of trials. Honestly, like I would just doge it. I would just get a spreadsheet of everyone hired by ICE in the Trump administration. Command F, you're all getting summons. You're all getting summons, and it's like it's gonna be the let God sort them out theory of ICE agents. But
like obviously, unfortunately that's not going to happen like that, but I feel like also like they're hiding their faces, and I feel like a lot of these records are going to get like, they're going to like delete a lot of shit and try to like hide who did what. But like what the next Democrat or whoever should do is basically like, okay, like maybe running on abolishing ICE might be too spicy. Maybe. I don't know what it's going to be like by then. Maybe. But maybe you don't want to abolish ICE, but maybe you want to change their mandate. And it's like, oh, you don't pick up immigrants and stuff anymore. You clean the highway. You're going to keep your salary. And what you do now is you pick up litter. We need you to tag wild boars, and the moose population
graffiti
is growing.
Removal.
Yeah, graffiti. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's your job now. Yeah. That'd be great.
I mean, look, I don't think this is like a debate. This is a nice like seed to plant when we can like start to come back to this over time, but I don't think like, listen, I'm just going to say some things that are just like gut feelings. I'm not sure it's all fully proven out yet, but I'm just going to go with it. And you can respond. I'm like, hold it too much as like, this is the truth, but like, this is not where I'm going to go with it. If a Democrat gets elected in 2028 and we don't get Nuremberg trials for ICE, a Republican is going to be elected in 2032, and then it's a wrap.
It might be a wrap if we get a Democrat. Who knows? Shit. Whitey might revolt.
Totally, but I don't see like this is.
We're not going to get Nuremberg trials. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're going to delete records. They're going to delete records. These people are hiding their face. You don't even know who it is.
That's why states are keeping records on their own. That's why Illinois has their own database. California has their own database. Washington has their own database. The states are keeping the records because they know the feds are going to hide it. In California, I mean, it's now illegal for you to wear a mask. Like, are they going to abide by that? You can't wear a mask to hide your face law. Who knows, right? But there are records. California police also have the ability to be like, okay, we can triangulate your phone. And you're like, you're whoop, whoop, whoop right here. We got a record that you were an ICE agent. We got a record for you at the scene of this raid where so-and-so got maimed or dead or stabbed or whatever. Sorry, you're going to have to come in and answer some questions. And if your story stops, if your story doesn't match up, you're going to be in front of a jury of your peers. And listen, these are good points. That's why I said I'm not really married to this opinion, but I feel like this is a very particular situation here. But it's true. Like part of the reason we're here is because we didn't really do Reconstruction. That was a joke.
Yeah, we're to make it very plain, we're here because of Whitey. That's just literally what it boils down to. Whitey's got an evil streak, and because of that, we can't have nice things here. But let's talk about the lack of democracy in Africa. No, I'm joking.
I did want to go to world news soon, but there's that one comment you were reading earlier that was about like credit cards.
Oh yes, somebody RMT here. I'm gonna find it right now.
Thank you. In the meantime, there's this other comment by Gnarl by Nature saying, "Did you see Jonathan Greenblatt freaking out on Morning Joe?" Yeah. The ADL is creating this database trying to track what anti-Semites Mamdani is putting in his campaign. It's like, Jonathan Greenblatt, you said that. Jonathan Greenblatt, you said that Elon Musk literally doing the salute was totally fine. Like, you've discredited the ADL pretty much for good at this point. Like, anti-Semitism is still real. We still got to watch out for it. We can't have a tolerance for it in our spaces, but we also like are past this point where we're being goaded by right wing, so we're perfectly fine by anti-Semitism if it's the anti-Semitism that's on their side that continues to forward their agenda. But RMT Watcher saying, in economic news, Discover Card just shut down its payment protection plan. It charged effectively extra interest to cover people if they became unemployed. I hate I hate so much about finance right now. I hate that. I hate the gambling industry. I hate the whole buy now, pay later thing. I hate this whole, like, man, money people are like so evil because they created, oh, you can get your paycheck 1 or 2 days early. Like, they recreated payday loans, y'all. They made an app for payday loans, and like Whitey uses it now. Like, and these like high interest loans, they're like, oh, we'll give you your paycheck a couple days early. No, it's a loan that gets paid back with your paycheck, and then interest and fees they collect on that. So it is ass out here. But
you did used to work for Jamie Dimon, so chill out.
I used to work for Jamie Dimon and Morgan Stanley and
oh my God,
Morgan and Morgan Wallen and no, yeah, let's move. Oh, RMT. Oh, Bad Lefty, you're awesome. You even had the comment right there. That was sick. But yeah, what's going on in the world of entertainment, man? What are we doing world news wise? Where do we start?
I don't know where you want to start, but
I didn't have that much to say about Gaza, except for that I know you must be following the Israeli judge who, and content warning, this is some pretty dark stuff even for the case of Gaza, but the judge who, or like the lawyer or the judge in Israel who's in a lot of trouble because they told the truth about Israeli soldiers sexually violating a detainee, like gruesome, graphic medical details. And the lawyer or whatever originally reported because they were like, oh wow, the Palestinians or Hamas or whatever must have really fucked this guy up. And the government was like, you fucked up by reporting this. This was us that did it. Now we have to clean it up. And it became a big scandal because just the details are gruesome and gross. And like, it was even a little bit gross for the Israeli public, which is, kind completely looked the other way at a lot of things over the past 2 years and beyond. Angie has become like a little bit of a mini scandal there. You know, ceasefire is not a thing anymore. No one's really talking about how it's not a thing, and how Trump is talking about putting in this new sort of like international paramilitary force right there. And right now it's like a lot of talk and bluster. But yeah, that's like, to go really quickly with like all the Gaza updates, that's pretty much what's going on there. And yeah, it's just like kind of one of those cases where like, okay, that's bad. And we move on to more bad things in the world. But I want to get to that piece too. And yeah, there's a video that people can see. I encourage you to not. Like, I just read the description. I'm like, that's fucking horrifying, honestly.
Right. Yes, she leaked the video. I do feel like it's gonna cause even more of a stir within Israel, that it's, I mean, even more than it already has. And I think that it's gonna be more of a bad look for Netanyahu too. I think that there's like, I don't think it's the plurality, but I think that there are some people, in Israel who don't want to think about their military being the torturers, frankly, because the militaries all over the region are looked at as the torturers, namely Syria and Egypt. If people don't remember, Egypt was one of the rendition countries where America would send people that they had locked up from Iraq. They would send them to Egypt, among other places, for the Egyptians to torture them. So I think that there's probably a lot of Israeli people who are like, who want to think about the IDF as like, we're not the torture army, that's them. So I don't think that's going to go over well. And especially her getting arrested or detained or whatever for releasing that video. Like, obviously, you know, maybe it was secret. I don't know. Maybe she did technically commit a crime. I don't know. But that's not going to go over well. And I mean, and even here, like Abu Ghraib didn't go over well with the American public here either. Like, people saw those pictures and stuff and they were like disgusted by that. A lot of people want to think like, they don't want to think about, I mean, especially like in the quote unquote West, like, don't want to think that their military is torturers. They want to think of them as moral or whatever. So, yeah, it's going to also, that I feel like at the end of the day, it's just going to look bad, something else to look bad for Netanyahu, who is going to be in office at least till next year. So.
Is that when they're doing elections?
At the very least, like I think October next year, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, that's gonna be
yeah. Nar was mentioning she's a whistleblower. I don't know if Israel has protection laws around whistleblowers. I don't know either. Honestly, I'm not sure. But even if she doesn't have like much protection from the law, like even if she ends up getting arrested or whatever and has to do time, I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are like not liking that, even if they dehumanize the hell out of Palestinians and whatever. Obviously, the protests in Israel against Netanyahu are still happening all the time, and there's actually been a lot more protests recently by the ultra-Orthodox since the Supreme Court, their Supreme Court ruled that they have to serve in the military. They're protesting even more. I mentioned this story on PowerPort previously, that I was watching an interview with some ultra-Orthodox young person. Well, I want to say like maybe early 20s. And this was after the Supreme Court ruled that the ultra-Orthodox have to serve in the military. And the woman's asking this ultra-Orthodox Israeli citizen, you know, how do you feel about that ruling? He's like, I'm not going to serve in the military, and death to Israel. I was dying. I was like, shit, okay. It's okay when you say it. They can't say it in Iran, though.
I mean, you had Orthodox Jews being like, I condemn the Islamophobia that Zoran Mamdani is facing in New York City, and I condemn all of the Jews who are directing it and trying to use our religion to like attack this person who is doing nothing but protecting people in New York who are Jewish. I'm like, let him cook. But it also just goes to show like there's no, and unfortunately needs to be said very much that like Jewish people are not a monolith. No real like group of people are a monolith. And yeah, you have Reform Jews who are relatively, modern, as you might think. Like they'll wear any of the same clothes that the average Western person will wear, and they'll be fierce Zionist. And then you'll have people who are Orthodox and they're walking around with the hats and everything, and they're super anti-Zionist and everything in between. So you really, like, dude, New York thing. I was walking the other day and I see someone who's like Orthodox and like have like the sort of like cords that are like hanging out. I don't know like the proper terms for everything. Like they have the whole thing, but this guy's
cords. Did you say cords?
Well, I know them like that because I know a military thing, and that's what you call them. And it's like looks like the same sort of material. I literally don't know what it is, but sure. But again, same guy was walking around, had tattoos all over his arms of like punk rock bands and everything. So it's just like, it's New York, man. You everything contains multitudes here. You can't really assume. But like as you're saying, oh yeah, I don't really have much. I super don't have a lot to say. I was like, it's one of the situations where that continues to be bad. Yes, that's very, very bad. Yeah,
but they're also not letting in as much food as they need into Gaza, Israel. I want to say, ever since 3 days after the quote unquote ceasefire was declared, they were like, yeah, they're getting too much food. Close that border a bit. 3 trucks a day. The situation's still bad. Israel's still killing people. The situation is so
yeah. You have to leveling neighborhoods still.
Yeah, the situation is so far from resolved. Like, and even I saw some people in the pundit class or whatever you call them in the media saying, you got to give Trump credit for what he's done in Gaza, the ceasefire. And I'm like, no, you don't, dude. Like, 1 day into it, 2 days into it, like, no, dude. Like, give credit if it's like way after and it's like things got better. The shit is still really bad, and there's no resolving it. And especially like right now, like I feel like they're sending ships to Venezuela and shit. It's like Netanyahu can do whatever he wants right now. Ain't nobody in America paying attention.
Yeah, like it's like just to your point, we learned nothing from Mission Accomplished. Absolutely, the pundit class especially learned absolutely fucking nothing from Mission Accomplished. Speaking of deep cuts, like Dick Cheney passing everything, rip bozo. But that
on my birthday.
Love that.
and Diddy's birthday too.
Don't love that. Yeah, like you said, like the other piece of that, not just like the media failing the Mission Accomplished thing, but like Trump has a very short attention span, even for an American head of state. And, I remember 90 deals in 90 days was how Trump was going to handle the trade war in April. And by June, he was like, fuck this Epstein shit. I'm going to build an East Wing. Like, I'm just going to demolish the White House. Like, he's already passed and moved on. He wanted the Gaza ceasefire thing because he wanted the Nobel Prize. And once it was clear he wasn't getting the Nobel Prize this year, he's like, okay, fuck it. Who can I bomb in South America? Like, the patterns are very clear. So I don't love the yeah, I don't love all of the sort of like posturing around Trump. And we mentioned this before. Citations needed did a great episode on the "you've got to hand it to him" style of punditry that Bam is describing right now. Of like, no, you don't have to, treat politics like sports and be like, oh, Trump got a W today. Like, that's not how it works. Like, people are being disappeared off the streets. There's no W's to be had in America.
This isn't even a first down. Like, it's not even like, this is just like a hype speech before the game. Like, hey guys, we got a ceasefire. Okay. Next day they are shooting and killing people. Dude,
this is them putting down the turf at Candlestick Park where the 49ers used to play before they tore it down.
Candlestick. That was actually a good poll. I can respect that poll. Now let's go
from Bayview, so shout out.
Okay, so let's keep it in. Let's go from Gaza. We'll go south to Sudan, then we'll go south to Nigeria, southwest, and then we'll go more west to Venezuela. So,
east is faster.
Sudan, flat Earth, but Sudan. Obviously, we saw.
No, if you go east, you fall off. That's the
right. We saw the horrific attacks in Al-Fashir last week. I did see something. I didn't get a chance to like read it or watch it. I think the Sudanese military, like the Sudanese army, is trying to basically sue for peace kind of right now. I feel like I saw that earlier. But I just didn't. Oh God, not Kazakhstan is going to join the Abraham Accords. That's gross.
Kazakhstan.
Like what? Okay, Sudan. Okay, no, actually, it wasn't the Sudanese military. It is the Rapid Support Forces, aka the Janjaweed. They are agreeing? They are agreeing to a truce proposal, as the new satellite images suggest mass graves in Al-Fashir. So maybe they're like, oops, we went a little bit too far. You guys want to do some kind of ceasefire thing? And maybe they're also saying that because they gained a lot of territory, and maybe it's the territory that they've always wanted. And maybe, enough people like left. So they're like, okay, it's all good. I don't really know, because it is a hard situation to keep track of, because it is a civil war. But in the meantime, Dan informed us that Trump is gonna reject all the visas of people from South Sudan. I'm like, what did they do? Like, they're Christian. Like, why? You're over here talking about saving the Christians in Nigeria. But he's like, y'all are too dark. He's like, look, we can accept like Candace Owens, but y'all are like, purple. Like, what the hell? So now they be bald and shit.
Not gross sisters deportation. That's crazy.
But yeah, the situation in Sudan is like, we talked about it last week. It's been bad for a very long time. But I don't know why the RSF is saying that they're down for a truce right now, but I don't know what there is to fight for anymore. So can they just stop? That'd be great.
This is a story that's just like really sad. RSF fighters are abducting thousands of people for ransom, and families who are already facing, extreme poverty, extreme chaos, political upheaval, general instability. They are now having to pay ransom to these military forces, these paramilitary forces supported by outside countries and groups, in order to see their loved ones and get their loved ones back. Sometimes I'm sure, like in these cases, it's like, maybe they're coming back, but they may not be breathing when they come back. They may not, be in, great medical shape and all one piece when they come back. They might be pretty traumatized and shaken up when they come back. So, it's definitely just like South Sudan. I remember, we did like a model UN thing, and one of my good friends had a project on South Sudan. It was like this would have been 10 years ago, and there was still famine and struggle and strife happening back then. So yeah, to just go, America is going to get rid of 5,000 refugees from South Sudan who had temporary protective status. These are people who came in legally. And now you're just saying we're going to suspend your visas because you can go back home now. South Sudan is going to be safer for you than O Block Chicago or whatever the fuck they're thinking about. And again, like they're acting like South Sudan just it's a long conveyor belt between South Sudan and O Block or something. Because it's another go ahead.
No, it's also funny too. Like I wonder, it's weird because I know South Sudan was also one of the countries that was willing to accept accept people that America deported. So maybe they said like because they were going to send Kilmar there, and I know South Sudan agreed to take deportees. So I wonder if they said like, "Oh, we're not going to do it anymore," and that's why Trump is saying this. I don't know. He's pretty transactional. But South Sudan has like been an ally of the United States. For what it's worth. I don't know like what level of trade or whatever happens with South Sudan, but for sure South Sudan is a country partly because of America and Israel. In Australia. So yeah, I don't really know. It's just, you never know. The shit with Trump just never makes sense. And it's so goddamn annoying. Like, what? Like you're doing what? Why? Huh? They were going to take Kilmar Abrego just the other day. They were going to take him.
I did, because I hadn't checked on that a while. Because I think Kilmar Abrego Garcia is unfortunately still in limbo. But shout out to these 3 African nations that decided that they will reject the U.S. deporting Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Now, these nations will take anybody else, but these officials from these 3 nations, Uganda, Ghana, and Eswatini, have decided that they will not take Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Now, again, they still have those deals to accept deportees from the United States. They're like, not the famous one. Not the one that makes us, not the one that brings like Al Jazeera reporters to like us. All right, like get someone random who you haven't like flamed up already yet, right? Like do that. We're all good. We still want that paper, but like don't throw this hot potato on us because that we don't want U.S. senators in Eswatini asking what we're doing. We don't need that.
Or Ghana. Ghana is supposed to be like the freaking Black Haven. Like come. Black Americans, come here, back to your home of Ghana, and you're over here taking Trump deportees. Like that is not cute. I thought y'all were supposed to be going hard. Watch homeboy from Burkina Faso start taking them.
No, I could see Nigeria do it. They're like, no, Donald Trump, please don't invade. We'll take ICE agents instead. That'll be great.
Shall we go west over to the west side of Africa and talk about Trump's empty threats to Nigeria?
Absolutely. I just did want to add Bad Lefty saying they don't need that famous smoke. I absolutely agreed. They don't want it.
So Trump, it's funny because like this whole like conspiracy on the right about Christians getting massacred by Muslims in Nigeria. It's been around it's kind of like right below the like genocide of white South Africans. There's also like the genocide of Christians in Nigeria. That's all they know about Africa. And like that Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump Jr. shoots elephants there or some shit. But yeah, like Trump talking about we're going to go and send freaking troops there to protect the Christians. I really wish the Nigerian president was like, go try it, dude. You want to bring them here? Okay, sure. Come bring them. Yeah, we'll work together. Like, what? There ain't no world that American troops are going, because these attacks that do happen every once in a while, but they also happen to Muslim Nigerians too. But there are some extremist groups in Nigeria that do be running up on villages and shooting people and kidnapping people. Like this happens way up in like northern Nigeria. Like, so you're gonna tell me you're gonna go into freaking Port Harcourt, Nigeria, and freaking like take the whatever, I don't know, all the way to like Kano in Nigeria. Like, what is going on here, man? Like, you look stupid. You sound stupid. Nigeria should have just flexed and been like, bring it. Like, come on. Because that'll be a funny fight. Them freaking Boko Haram against American troops in Nigeria, and Nigeria's just like, you got it, dude. Like, shit, we want to take them out too. Go for it.
Nigeria's like, wait, we can privately contract the U.S. military for this, and China's like, wait, we could turn Nigeria into the killing fields for the U.S. military. It's literally so much of geopolitics now goes back to that Simpsons meme where they're on board a ship and they're watching two monkeys fight each other, and they're all like cheering around and like throwing cash on the monkeys to see like what happens. It's like there's so many good comments that have just been rolling in here. Pinkerbell said he's going to run out of troops. It's like, yeah, we talked about this. We're going to continue talking about this. Like, a ground war in Venezuela. Are you really? A ground war in Colombia. Are you really? Right? Are you? Come on, like, Donnie, I know you like your maps and everything. Let's do that. Pull up Google Maps and put the satellite view on. Okay, let's go through this. This ain't the Appalachian Trail, buddy. And by the way, the U.S. military can't hike that either.
Right. They're gonna be hoping it's the Appalachian Trail.
Remember when the Appalachian Trail used to be a euphemism for gay sex? No, truly, there was that one. I want to say it was like a Republican legislator who was like cheating on his wife or something, and it found out he was in South America. This is like Obama era, like 2000s, maybe 2010s, and he was cheating or something. He got caught in some scandal, and his excuse was, "Oh, he was hiking the Appalachian Trail." I'm just like, wow, man.
Oh, you know what? I do remember that. Oh my! I'm so mad. I remember that.
Right?
Was it in North Carolina or something like that?
I want to say it was the Carolinas. Yeah, it was one of them.
Oh my god, I'm mad.
I gotta find this guy. But while we're doing that. Oh wait, one of us will look it up. There was some other comments here I wanted to read while we were on this too. Bad Lefty saying, I've seen a lot of spamming in YouTube chats about Christian persecution in Ethiopia lately too. Yeah, like
what?
Anytime you are hearing about the persecution of Christians on the continent of Africa, and you're reading it in English, and in a chat or in a comment section from someone in the West, that's a right-wing dog whistle. Like, it's pretty clear in doubt. Like, that was the South Africa thing. That was the it's happening here. And of course it is, because how else are you going to get white conservatives in America or Canada or Europe to give a shit about Africa unless it's, oh, well, they're Christians. Oh, well, like, our missionaries were there and they turned over their hands and looked at the palm and said, look, God's in you there because that's the part of your body that's white. That's like that's the way they're going to be able to look and attempt to humanize Africans in the context of following their religion, right? The rest of them, they worship pagans, or they have rituals, or they're worse, Muslim. Fuck them. Yeah, no, like, whatever. And then lastly, Aaron Patton, thank you. Nicki Minaj congratulated Trump on his defense of Christianity in Africa. Well, what's one thing Nicki Minaj will do? It's defend a kid diddler. Anyways, we can. I'm going to do a Google search on who was hiking that Appalachian Trail. But we can continue going to Venezuela if you want, or do you want to go to Nigeria first?
No, well, we're
We just
talking
did
about
Nigeria. That's right.
Yeah, I'll say a little bit more about Nigeria. Nigeria is a very diverse country. As far as religion goes, it's like up in the air. There's definitely more Christians than Muslims, but there's a pretty sizable Muslim population, and they definitely all be getting along with each other. And I think intermarriage is fairly common in Nigeria as well. But they do have um, Boko Haram and like an Al Qaeda offshoot that like operates in the north. And I'm sure that those entities are or were funded by Saudi Arabia. Like I'll say this is like definitive. The like extremist violent Muslim groups ideology, that their ideology originates from like the Saudi texts and like the Saudi, like, I'm not saying every single Saudi person, but like their books is like the inspiration of like the violent streak of like these groups and sometimes the funding. And that's just the reality. And it's hard to know like what level of support they're getting from like these outside groups, or I'm sorry, these outside nations and stuff. But having been in that community for a long time, like that's where it comes from. And for sure, it's sad. It's a problem. I think I think it was in the second Black Panther movie that they kind of showed. Was it in the second Black Panther movie? Like the beginning was like, the Wakandans were like saving some girls that got kidnapped. They didn't say it was Boko Haram, from what I remember, but it was supposed to be something like that. They kidnapped some girls or something. I can't remember. Did anybody see the second?
I wish I could help you, but there's a very unfortunate fact in my head that because I saw Black Panther 2 and The Woman King very close together, I have in the past blurred two different parts of both of the movies, like I've transposed different parts.
That's racist. That's actually
racist. That's because I'm a racist. Yeah.
Woman King is like it's supposed to be like the 1700s or some shit like that. That's trifling levels of racism, and Black people all look alike.
Is it more progressive if I confuse Black Panther 2 with Avatar 2? Because they both had water scenes.
I don't know, because there's no water in Black Panther. No, I'm just joking. Oh no, there is. There's that freaking the Aztec guy or whatever.
yeah. I'm saying that there's both like water-based villains in Avatar 2 and in Black Panther 2.
Yes, but there's not slave traders in Black Panther 2, and that's all Woman King is about. They're fighting slave traders.
There's that one dude from the CIA in Black Panther. Martin Freeman or whatever.
What woke CIA?
No, but you were talking about this point about in Black Panther and like whether the original depiction in the beginning of the movie, if that's how you remember it and that's how it actually happened, was of Boko Haram. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't trust it. I don't trust Disney's depiction of anything. So
they do like commit random acts of violence and kidnap people and stuff like that. I can't say for what, what I mean, but like it is unfortunate. I don't know like how much the Nigerian government is doing to combat what they're doing. I genuinely don't know. Like, I'm not saying that to be facetious. But I know one thing: American troops won't make it better. Just like if we go west from Nigeria, right on over to Venezuela. They're not going to make that situation better either. Now, the really
fast.
thing,
Sorry, please hold that thought. But I just want to say, as you were describing, sometimes Boko Haram just like goes in and kills people for no reason. Again, I'm not trying to draw a false equivalency. We're also talking about the U.S. government and the U.S. military, and so it's like Boko Haram going in and snatching people from the streets and taking you see where I can going with this, right? Like there are very few governments under the sun, especially right now, who can say that they're above this or have ever been above this historically. And that's not to support or condone it, but it's to say, as rightfully the more fierce, militant leftists will point out, it's like, hey, wait a minute, why? I know this is always done. I'm actually not going to go that route because I don't want to even be associated with those tankies. But all of a sudden we care about this injustice over here when we do that in America on any day that ends in Y. So I totally get that argument. But let's go to Venezuela.
Yeah. The funny thing about what may happen in Venezuela, I guess we'll see. They parked that aircraft carrier in Trinidad, and so I guess it's just sitting there now, because there were the reports last weekend that the strikes were imminent in Venezuela. They didn't happen, but
they're doing the usual military thing. They're doing drills. They have planes that are flying low around the area of the coastline and stuff. They're doing provocative stuff for sure.
Well, yeah,
also not strikes,
right? And it's just it's just a waste of. It's just so stupid, not to be like this. Are you gonna do it or not, dude? If you're not, just get the fuck out of there, dude. What's the point? You're already killing innocent people in the waters of the Caribbean Sea. So what are you gonna do? Run over them speedboats with aircraft carriers now? What the hell are we doing, dude?
Yes.
Send those troops back home so they can beat their wife. No, I'm joking. Send those troops back home because, once again, you're gonna fly some plane over Venezuela. They're gonna see if that plane drops a bomb or whatever, and as soon as it does, they're gonna shoot that bitch down. That plane will get shot down. They're not going to shoot it down if it goes into Venezuelan airspace. They're going to be let it chill, whatever. Let's see if they get out of here. But if it does any kind of attack, they're going to shoot that plane down. And there's not going to be a way to lie about it because everything is recorded now. There's going to be video of the plane dropping the bomb or shooting the missile, whatever. And then there's going to be a video of the plane getting blown up. And then what is Trump going to say? Okay, now we're declaring war because they shot our plane down? No, you bombed.
That's the tactic. It's that's what Trump is trying to do domestically. Let's put the pedal to the metal to these ICE agents. Let's let them do whatever they want to. Let's let them throw tear gas near elementary schools. Let's let them throw women and children and the elderly to the ground and beat them and kneel on their neck. Let's do them that so that people start to get mad and they start to want to fight back. And then once they start fighting back, then that's the pretense to, okay, everyone in ICE gets to use lethal force whenever they want to, carte blanche, and we're just going to be mask off about that. Right now, we're kind of mask on about that, no pun intended. But they can go fully mask off with it. When you take that to international policy, a lot of, we've kind of known this, but this has been confirmed a lot in the news, especially in the past couple of weeks, that world leaders are very well aware, especially in Trump 2.0, that Trump's strategy is to bull in a China shop, run in and cause chaos and be like, hey, if you talk to me and we negotiate, this chaos will stop and then we can get what I want to. Because Trump thinks it's a negotiating tactic to go in, cause chaos, and for normal people to be like, whoa, hey, what's going on? Let's calm down. Let's stop. Let's come things easy. And then you bring people to the negotiating table. China is like, yeah, fuck that, buddy. Russia is like, yeah, fuck that, buddy. Also, we got the piss tape or whatever, right? and you know, like these are different cases, like Russia and China. Oh, Russia, debatably, but you know, China's a global superpower, really eating America's lunch, and will continue to for probably the rest of the century, if not longer. And the risk here is, to say nothing of a ground war in South America, but the risk here is Trump uniting Central and South America against the United States. And
I don't really see that though.
I'm not sure. I don't know if you like. Listen, South America is a very big place. You're not going to be able to like just off of, you know. I don't know if Lula's going to be able. Lula's going to feel like, oh, I should get my hands dirty over Colombia, right? Like, I'm not sure if we're feeling that, but what you are seeing is Venezuela's calling up Iran, and they're like, hey, you got some of them drones you've been sending to Russia? Because like, you know, we could really use some shits down here. And they're going, and Russia's like, hey, I don't know about this. I don't know if y'all know history, apparently not in America, but there's a pretty good record of Russia trying to build their sphere of influence to be able to get closer to the United States for military strike purposes by building alliances with countries that have felt wronged by America's hemispheric doctrine of trying to control everything within its literal sphere of influence, which often includes Central and South America. So that tension could further move your Venezuelas, your Colombias, maybe you peel off a couple of others into being more economically, socially, politically, militarily involved with Russia, Iran, China, India, places that on any given day Trump is fighting with in other situations, and places that are like, okay, we actually got the smoke for you though. Like, you can't like the US military is sweating about what Iran could do with their nuclear military program, like what they want to do, at least what they can aspire to do. China and Russia, those are legitimate sweats because they have like real nuclear arsenals. But yeah, it just risks a lot. It's geopolitically risky and stupid and careless. And I'm not teaching anyone new because like that's the way Donald Trump operates. But it's like this: I'm gonna bully you first. I'm gonna get a deal. Has never worked. At best, it's I'm gonna bully you, and then I'm gonna get like a golden crown, and then I'm gonna feel like I got a deal. But everyone's just playing me.
Right, and it's like also like what like, you know, Maduro said early, like, you know, if Trump wants to talk about whatever, then we can talk. And Trump, like, I don't know what there would be to talk about with Maduro, because there's like you already said you closed the border, so it's not like they're sending the mental asylum people that Trump keeps talking about from Venezuela. But I do think that like I don't think that any country in South America is going to do much to help Venezuela, but China gets most of Venezuela's oil. And actually, the United States still gets a lot of, well, I don't want to say a lot necessarily, but it still gets some Venezuelan oil as well. You know, I wonder what China, you know, they're not going to get like involved, but they, you know, they might get involved like weapons wise with you know, any kind of military action against Venezuela. Iran would for sure too. You know, we'll see. I don't know if Trump would just be like, you know, I want Maduro to step down. But even with that, it's, and I think we talked about this last time or the time before last. It's like if Maduro steps down, it's like it doesn't mean like he's not just gonna have his like buddy, you know, take over, and it's gonna be the same thing, you know, like Maduro's not
who wouldn't snitch on him,
right? Like Maduro's not gonna be like, okay, I'll step down, and also everybody's gonna leave, and then the whole opposition can come in. Like that's not gonna happen. Like he will fight.
Roles reversed, Trump wouldn't do the same. He would, he would leave his people in the government. If he could, he would leave a JD Vance or a Mike Johnson or a Pam Bondi or whatever, and just be like, give a sup nod on your way out and know how the game is playing. Like, you know, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. That's how any regime tries to keep power, of course.
No, yeah, I think that it's just not a feasible situation all around. It's just like a quagmire waiting to happen, which is why I'm like, please don't happen. And like, if it's not gonna happen, like, don't pump fake it, dude. Like, just stop. Like, what's the
Giggity,
point?
giggity.
You know, like, just go home, dude. Like, you're not gonna freaking go to war with Venezuela. You're gonna look like an idiot if you do that. But I guess he already looks like an idiot. So
Yeah, it's like, you know, troops in Venezuela, troops in Nigeria, troops in Greenland, troops in, like, you know, like, it's getting played out, and it's definitely getting to the point where, like, I share the criticisms of Taco Trump because it can sound like you're goading him to, no, actually, Trump, do the tariffs. No, actually, Trump, do the war. No, actually, Trump, do the ICE raids, right? But there is also just like a fundamental basic thing to where, like, whether you're a president or whether you're just a person, right? If you don't keep your word, or you keep saying you're going to do stuff and you end up not doing it, or you keep threatening people and you just like off of it, then your words, your threats, whatever you're doing, whatever you're handling around with, people pay that no, never mind. Because until you say something and they see results, they're going to be like, oh no, that's Bam with the plan over there. Like he said it, he did it, like he executes, that's how it works. But if it's, you know, Dan saying history of Islam coming next week, you know, eventually shit just starts to like lose its like steam. That's why Steam here starts to turn on. But like the risk there is like a Russia situation, which wasn't necessarily the same thing because people just didn't think that Russia was going to invade Ukraine except for the Biden administration because Biden had that intel, people were paying attention, people just thought it was like so outlandish. And then it happened and everyone was just like, oh shit, okay, damn, it's happening. No, a lot of people on the left like definitely did not catch that. But you know, it happened and it was one of the worst things to be wrong about, but yeah, you know, that is what it is. But Putin also says if it's a day that ends in Y, he threatens to use his nukes. That's why no one really takes him. Kim Jong-un, same thing. If it's a day that ends in Y, they threaten to use nukes. Just no one really wants to be about that action, and we don't want anyone to be about that action. But if you're gonna be about that action, your words need to back it up, or there's no action there. And so for Trump, like again, I don't want Trump to do well, but if this is his only card is threat, every single time he does this, it's just going to be a weaker card. It starts off as an ace and then just becomes a 2, like very, very quickly.
And it's just like you're sending an aircraft carrier to fucking Trinidad, dude. Like, what are we even doing, dude? Like, you're killing.
I mean,
people.
I want to joke about the parties, but given the military's history with sexual violence and the places that they go to, I'm not going to make the joke.
Yeah. Well, the Trinis ran ice off in Bushwick or whatever. Then maybe they could do it there. But I mean, I did see the Trinidad Prime Minister or President or whatever the hell's name is or whatever he is saying like, hey guys, what are we gonna do? America's a strong nation. Like, you know, we gotta welcome that aircraft carrier or whatever. You know, it's taking up all the space at the port, but you know, it's fine. It's double parked, but
that's almost racist, man.
But it's just like
we should do a live feed of like the outside where it's just looking at my street and it's just like double, triple parked cars.
It's just one of those things. It's like, you know, there's nothing. Obviously, there's American troops all over the world. I don't know how many like arenas they're like actively involved in. I don't know right now, but you know, if you were talking about like trying to end something that was happening, okay, maybe whatever. That's what America does. Oh, you know, we're going to send some troops to Sudan to help try to end this civil war. I don't know, dude. Okay, sure, whatever. What do I have to? I can't stop that, you know. But to even like play with invading a country for regime change after you're the guy that's like against regime change wars and you've condition your whole base to be against that. And then also, like, it's just such a dumb, it doesn't make any sense. I hate to always go back to this, but like, even when Bush decided to invade Iraq, which was ridiculous and stupid and made no sense. Iraq didn't have anything to do with 9/11 or Al Qaeda, whatever. I hate to even say this, but like at least it was Saddam Hussein. Like nobody liked him, nobody fucked with him. He was not popular in his own country. Nobody was trying to fight for him. Like in the first Gulf War in the 90s, like literally the coalition of the willing in the first Gulf War was like all Arab countries. Like Syria was bombing Iraq back then. Like,
I think they had more smoke for Saddam than they have for Israel.
You feel me? Like, and I'm not saying that to justify it at all, obviously, but it's like, even like with Maduro is even Lula said that he stole this last election. I think like it's kind of like common knowledge that like he's on some bullshit when it comes to these elections, at least for the last two. But like he has a lot of support within his country, and also like just the idea of a war against a South American nation is just like so ridiculous. You can't even like justify anything for 1 second. And I just really, personally, I really hate wars. I really hope it doesn't happen. Oh, and going back to what you said about the Biden administration telling us that Russia was going to invade Ukraine. I was really mad about that because I'm the person that I just think that the government's always lying, and Biden and them was like, no, they're going to invade. And I was telling people like, nah, Russia's not going to invade. And then they did. I'm like, yo, Biden, I'm really mad that y'all were telling the truth too. Like, I'm really mad about that because y'all are supposed to be wrong about shit. Like, don't be saying shit.
That's real.
Like, I was mad. Like, don't be saying shit. And I'm like, nah, they're just, but it also, I think a lot of us, especially on the left, like, we did have, just don't want the Coke prices to go. That's funny. The Coke is coming from Colombia. But I think a lot of us were like thinking that Vladimir Putin was more like pragmatic than he was. So a lot of us got fooled, but going after Saddam was a bullshit cover. Going after Saddam was a bullshit cover for a resource war and Halliburton contracts, but fuck Saddam. Right. Yeah. But at the very least, it was Saddam Hussein. Nobody in Iraq misses that fool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this fool was gassing the Kurds. There's videos of it. Like, the shit is wild. So, but yeah.
Saddam did what Trump wanted to do, which was like immediately purge.
Oh my God, that video. I watch that video like once every 2 years. And I'm just like looking at it like, damn, it's really crazy because all these fools got up. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll go back here. And they all got killed. Like that was their last day on earth for all of them.
They got Bud Dwyer'd, yes. But like they weren't expecting it. Yeah.
No. I think a couple of them were like, wait, what? But like they didn't think they were gonna get killed though.
There's one other piece there, which was kind of just the point that we've also been alluding to of like the American military might. Like, I don't know if you know this, but like in the 21st century, we're a laughingstock. So if you're going to threaten countries you can't invade with technology that is matched or exceeded by your opponents, and you're going to do it with some like weekend warrior ass, low morale ass, corn-fed, because we're running out of soy, corn-fed American. And like, not only do you like play all like big and blustery, like, oh, I'm gonna take my ball and go home, like all around the world, but you pop off all that good and you don't even back it up. It's like America is Kevin Hart in a buddy cop movie. Like all angry, absolutely no smoke right now. Short as hell too. Can't do shit. So
there's a conversation that I would like to have with somebody. Maybe Kumar's would be good to have this conversation with. Because I know he like knows a lot about the Middle East. I'm gonna say this, but like, just whatever. But somebody could argue, I'm not necessarily arguing it, but somebody could argue that Bush's war in Iraq was a success. Somebody could argue that. And I would like to talk to somebody about it. But we got to get it. We got to go into the weeds.
A success based on what? Like without going into it, like a success based on galvanizing people in the Middle East. Like
no, somebody could argue that. Like Dick Cheney's dead now, but he would probably argue from the grave that it is like, there's an autonomous region for the Kurds now, and it's pretty safe now, and the democratic system is flawed for sure, but it like functions for the most part. 20 years, somebody could argue. I'm not arguing it, RMT. I'm not arguing that. But I'm saying somebody could. And I just want to talk about it with somebody that like knows the region and like knows the war and stuff.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that. If you seriously want to do that, I don't know if Kumar's is your person, but I've mentioned this a little bit in passing on the show. Next year, Power Report's going to be a little bit different. I want to go back to doing more interviews and stuff like that. So there's definitely some folks we could find. I remember, I forget his name, but I think it's Arash. And we had him on to discuss Biden pulling out of the Afghanistan war when that happened. And, that could be a case there too. Narwhal saying dick in the box with crabs. Like, I don't feel like I have anything more to say about Dick Cheney than everything that has been said and will continue to be said. Like, absolutely pack watch. It's one of those ones we've been waiting for a while. I did love, like, you can say whatever you want to talk about this because I got not much, but I did love how Republicans on Fox News in the immediate aftermath of his death, before the producers could fact check, all the pundits were like, Dick Cheney was really appreciated Donald Trump and respected Donald Trump. And, he really laid the groundwork for like that vice presidency, really laid the groundwork for all the great things Trump is doing to transform the country. And it's like, yeah, y'all live in a complete fantasy ass world because
that's crazy.
Dick Cheney was like, Dick Cheney almost got his mechanical heart worked up when Liz Cheney, his daughter, was being attacked by Donald Trump and other people from the right. Cheney endorsed Kamala at the end of it. She was saying, Cheney was saying that Donald Trump is not just a dangerous man, but a weak man and a pathetic man and doesn't have the strong will of the Constitution. Like Dick Cheney did not like Donald Trump at all. But that's not.
I could be wrong about this because it is kind of fuzzy. But was it Dick Cheney that like wrote that op-ed to the generals like after the election or before the 2020 election? I don't know if it was him or not, but like there was somebody that wrote some kind of like op-ed about telling like the generals to stay out of politics and stuff. And I can't remember if it was Dick Cheney or not though. And I don't remember where it was. It could have been some other person. I don't be remembering the generals' names like that. Mark Milley, I don't know, but
there was Dick Cheney wrote an opinion piece with some other people who used to work in the Pentagon in response to, you know what? On January 3rd, 2021.
There we go.
And this of course was the lead up to the January 6th stuff, which was like, I still remember people going, wow, this caught us by surprise. It's like, no, it didn't.
No.
He said he was going to contest the election before. He contested the election during. And all the MAGA people were online on twitter.com with their public profiles saying, these are the coordinates. We're going to be here. Requiem and Patre, Charlie Kirk, was organizing people there too. Okay, so like let's not rewrite history on that. But yeah, that's a great poll. I had completely forgotten about that. There's so much happening that week and that time in general. Washington Post op-ed, 3rd of January, basically saying that using the military in such a way to, try to overturn the presidential election results would be a, quote, dangerous, unlawful, and unconstitutional territory, and that the country has to accept the results to move forward.
Right. Yeah.
Good thing we heeded that warning.
Yeah, that is Dick Cheney's legacy when it comes to Donald Trump right there, trying to prevent him from doing what he did. And
frankly, more balls than Mitch McConnell.
Oh, absolutely. And let me take it a step further.
I'm glad he shot Dan Quayle. No.
Steve. Did we get saved by Dick Cheney? Did we get saved by Dick Cheney and Mike Pence? Did we? I don't know if Dick Cheney influenced those people because I don't know if Trump talked to those people or not. But they might have been like, oh, that's the homie Dick. We can't do what Trump is talking about. Dick, we were fucking with Dick. Pause.
Legendary pause on Power Report. That's incredible. I can't even top that.
Hey yo.
Hey yo. No. That I think it was, I alluded to that Mitch McConnell thing because after January 20th, I think even Mitch McConnell was like spoken to the New York Times saying, yeah, I think we're gonna have to take a pause on the Trump stuff. Like, I think this is a little bit too much. And then not even I remember this so well because we were doing Power Report. A month later, Biden got in office and it was all about Kermit the Frog and, banning Dr. Seuss from, it's always these dumb dry runs that they go unnoticed by a lot of the liberal class. And then the Republicans are like, they Homelander it. They look around, they're like, oh shit, did I actually get away with it? And they just continue doing more and more worse stuff. So I remember Mitch McConnell, January 30th being like, Trump cannot be the future of the Republican Party. And February 28th being like, okay, well, hey, Trump's back on the menu, boys. Let's keep doing Trump-like stuff, and hopefully he runs again in 24.
February 28th, this is Mitch McConnell.
The little tapping you were doing on the floor, but on mic too. It was so Looney Tunes-esque.
I wish I could be standing up and do it. I would just fell on the floor.
I told Sandy,
I wish I could put a sock right here.
When we played the clip of I think it was a healthcare CEO actually from Cigna Pfizer or something like that. He just collapsed in the White House while someone was giving commentary or whatever. And Trump just looked up and was just like, wow. Yeah, you're telling me this for the first time. I didn't know that. Wow. No, what's very funny? I think I may have mentioned this in the group chat, but there's a video of Zohran Mamdani and his wife at the polls on election day. And one of the journalists asks, Mr. Mamdani, have you heard that Dick Cheney's died? And Mamdani's media trained. He's very chill. Oh, what? I haven't heard about that. And immediately pivots and goes to the next one. If you look at his wife's face, she just makes and just looks down. She's like, Closes her eyes, looks down, looks away from the cameras. You can tell she's like, we're on the 1 yard line. It's 4th and inches. Let's just get out of this situation right now.
Little did he know, as what we see with Jay Jones, he could have said whatever the hell he wanted. It would have been just fine. He could have been like, I hope he's dead and he rots in hell.
You got an AI, Zoran Mamdani, answering that reporter's question like, Mr. Mamdani, have you heard of Dick Cheney's passing? And Mamdani goes, wow, I hope I can fuck his skull while the body's still warm. And continues voting and wins the election. Like, apparently, we're in the Jay Jones era of politics now, so
literally. Like, okay, also, do we know who Gilbert is? Like the person that's gonna get the bullet over Hitler and Pol Pot? Who is Gilbert? Who is this person?
Jamie, look at him.
Because I'm like, I'm really not fucking with Gilbert.
That is definitely one of those situations where it's that quote from the Boondocks where Thugnificent's like, damn, what did he do to make them guys that mad? It's like that wasn't an unsolicited ass being. It's like, oh no, he must have deserved it. Gilbert is
Virginia somebody.
Yeah, he's some conservative. Gilbert refers to then Speaker of the Virginia House, Todd Gilbert. Going to the Speaker of the House in your state, and Virginia's no state to sneeze at either, like, and saying, fuck them kids. Dude's like not even black like that either. Like, man.
Oh, come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I should not be doing. I like literally on a 23andMe test, we're gonna come out the same exact percentage of black. I should
right.
But like,
he's from mainland. You're from Madagascar. He's from mainland Africa.
Oh, I just stopped myself a lot. I just stopped myself a lot right there. So it was who was it? The messages sent shortly after Gilbert offered public condolences over the death of retired Democratic delegate Joe Johnson of Washington County stunned political circles across Virginia and beyond. Let me tell you, as someone from across Virginia and beyond, I did not hear a single thing about that shit. My friends in Virginia did not hear a single thing about that shit. My friends in that area did not hear a single thing about that shit. Yeah, apparently Republicans even seized on the scandal too. They tried to make it a big deal, like, oh, this conduct is disqualifying. There's no gosh, I'm sorry here. Jones doesn't have the morality or the character to when he should drop out of this race. I want to pull up how much he won by.
Ooh.
Because the number I'm about to tell you will dictate how wild I'm about to go for the next year. Yeah, hang on. I'm pulling up. Ooh. That's nasty, man. Okay. So these are the NBC results here. And damn near 53% to 47%.
Okay.
That's not a wide margin, but for Virginia, that's pretty good. And for
for sure.
I think my opponents and my opponents' kids are Nazis. Hey man, I'm just
so I think we've confirmed that they are Nazis.
Like, dude, I just keep going back to this. Like, I could look at this map genuinely all day of how Prop 50 voted by county. These are red counties, right? San Bernardino here. Yes, 57 to 43. Riverside County. These are counties that went for Trump, dude. Like 56-43. Orange County, 55-45. Santa Clara, where Big Tech lives, 71-28. Merced County. I didn't know grapes could vote. 52%. Dude, no, dude, brother. Sonoma County. I didn't know racist grapes could vote. They all approved this ballot. It's insane. Like, the amount of hatred for all the MAGA Republican fuckery, all I can say is, like, Republicans, please keep aligning yourselves to Donald Trump. Please keep doing it.
Oh yeah, because it's going to be over soon.
Yeah, the only one who's taken the first helicopter off of Saigon is Marjorie Taylor Greene, and even then, she still has to play this game of, well, you know, I like Trump and I like this, but you know, I like women too. As I'm on The View, I'm a feminist actually. As I'm on The View, it's like, no, Marjorie, you are. Only because this is such a dumb country and everyone else is really bad at this, you're at least a savvy enough politician to be like, I'm gonna leave the game before there starts to be traffic trying to get out of the arena. Like,
right. And I think Marjorie Taylor Greene knows, like, where she runs, like, there's nobody really to challenge her. So she's like, I'm gonna be fine there for at least the next 2 election cycles, no matter what. And I don't know if she's like really trying to run for governor or whatever, but I don't really know how much of a chance she has with that. But she's good in her seat, Trump or not. So, but you know, it's hard to know, like, whether she's genuine or not. Like, I don't really know, but you know,
I subscribe to AOC's theory because there's been some other corroborating evidence to this. Marjorie Taylor Greene is sick of being in the House. She thinks she's hot shit and she's ready to move on to the Senate. And she did not receive the blessing from Donald Trump, and now she's on a warpath.
Yeah, that could be it too. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Like, do I believe that Marjorie Taylor Greene is that? Yes, I don't even have to finish the question. Like, absolutely. And yeah, of course. Like, I think. Listen, Marjorie Taylor Greene is the AOC of the Republican Party.
For sure.
In the sense that she is the top fundraiser.
But
she's
cuter.
like, she's red meat for her opponents to attack her a lot of times for her appearance or the way she presents, but also like on policies or caricatures of those policies. Although I'll take like the video of AOC at Boston University dancing versus Marjorie Taylor Jewish Space Lasers Green. I don't know. It might be a preference thing. But she can fundraise money just by being Marjorie Taylor Greene. She doesn't need to align herself with Trump, just like AOC. She doesn't need to align herself with the Democratic Party. In fact, both AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene raise more money the more they buck their own party. So that's like the incentive that's actually built into the system there. And honestly, that's why Nancy Pelosi, for a little bit, had to be like, okay, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. Because like AOC, like Nancy Pelosi's, the thing that made her the kingmaker was the fact that she could out fundraise everyone else in the House. And she decided to just like make the House her fiefdom and, you know, became filthy rich off of it famously. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene's trying to do the same thing, but she has greater ambitions to being in the Senate. And I don't blame her. I also don't want someone like that in the Senate. Also, the Senate is just like a much more moderating body. And like, you can't be, Bernie Sanders seems like a radical in the Senate, but he's still a senator for sure. There are certain lines that he just won't cross. And I'm not sure if Marjorie Taylor Greene will be like, it's supposed to be a more serious institution. You get 6-year terms versus like these quick turnovers with the House. Like, I'm not sure if Marjorie Taylor Greene has that mettle. I'm also not sure if like voters really care. But I think that she's making the right bet in someone else used a great analogy. I forget who it was. I wish I could credit them, but it was like Marjorie Taylor Greene is getting the first lifeboat off the Titanic before it hits the iceberg. And I would argue if Trump was the Titanic and what's the iceberg, and whether or not he's just like hit iceberg after iceberg after iceberg, like a drunk teenager failing a DMV test, but like, and hitting cones and shit. But like, I don't know what you want to do with the analogy from there, but I think she's the savviest person who is actively looking and preparing for a post-Trump Republican Party. One where buy-in to Trump is actually a liability than an asset. And she's smartly doing that, and that's a sign of the times. I don't think people should trust her, and I think everyone except dumb women in media like Anna Kasparian have pretty much understood that Marjorie Taylor Greene is like, okay, this is your like new grift. This is like your new angle. You're not all of a sudden my ally because you went on The View and said some words about female empowerment all of a sudden, when you spent the rest of your career and will spend days in the future fighting against that same shit. So no.
I think the only way this could backfire for her is if Trump does more than just saying what's going on with her, and he like really leans into like going at her. I don't know if it hasn't happened because he just hasn't really seen much of what's going on, or if somebody's telling him like, no, we need her still, kind of like this.
Oh no, Trump is pissed, and he knows that you can't listen. Don't listen to me, Trump. You're strong. That's a broad. Go hard on Marjorie Taylor Greene, please do it. The reason I'm saying that is because that's just going to create a MAGA civil war. Let them fight.
Yeah, which is already kind of
come right in for that.
Yeah, which is already kind of happening. But yeah, we'll see. Like, because if he does do that, and if he goes like very hard, it could end up looking bad for her, just because Trump still is like the leader of all Republicans. So yeah, we'll see. But hopefully, I'd rather see them fight each other. And we'll see if Trump does do that, goes at her like in a really like intentional way, if she backs down and just, kisses the ring.
Real. Damn. We got through everything in the rundown.
As we do.
The other thing I didn't get a chance to do this in any other forum, but I was gonna watch through some of the interviews that I had with people on the streets with Zoran, because I was doing it live, and there are people talking in my ear, so I didn't really recognize the whole time. But yeah, I was gonna play through some of those interview pieces because I think hearing like, I can't, it's just so cool to hear people talk. Yes, it's to an audience of the internet, but these are people who are like, they were talking in real life. We're having a conversation. Like, we're outside of a beer garden and celebrating this political victory in like a community setting with people. It's shit that sounds very mundane and like 30 years ago, but because of this tech atomized world, I really, like it ignites like this is why I used to like doing this sort of thing. It's that aspect of politics that actually made it fun, and the aspect of internet drama and who said what for like internet points like makes it exponentially less fun. But I really enjoyed talking to people on this space stream. Thanks to them for having me on. I'll play some pieces here for BAM till we run out, basically. And yeah, just I'm curious to hear like your reactions to what folks are saying mostly as we're coming through this stuff. So let me cue it up here. All right. Just a second. It's going to be so great when I have my normal computer back. All right.
Here we go.
It's funny. There's another TV interview happening behind me. So I'm trying to be more discreet about it.
You should shout out this space.
Hey, want to
Should run up and be like, I just want to say,
hi to you really fast?
this is the...
Just say you want to be on the internet.
Hi.
Just ask somebody. Yeah, nice. Here we go. Ask him a question.
What's your name? How you want to identify?
Just call me Jay. Hi.
I'll also comment for folks watching, like there are other like this. It was a big group of like 8 other people on screen. Forrest and Christina were there, previous Power 4 guests. Sandy from Left the Box, maybe in the chat right now, was also there. So there is a bit of crosstalk at a certain point, but during the interviews, mostly it's like this here. So hey,
What's
what's
your
your
name?
name? How you want to identify?
Just call me Jay. Hi.
Jay, you're here from Mamdani. I'm here from Mamdani. How you feel about the win?
Amazing. It was touch and go there for literally like 30 seconds, but you know,
What?
The better man won. Yeah.
The better man won, you said. What did it feel like when you were in this watch party? I just came in a little bit late because I live down the street upstairs. I was like, I was invited, but I can hear the sound, so I'm invited. But yeah, what was it like in here when it was that touch and go moment?
Oh, I mean, like we were in line getting beers. we were all checking our phones, and we were like, and I mean, the spirit has been of triumph the entire night. So people have been just like behaving as if you already won, which again, given past history, it gets a little weird. So I was a little pessimistic for like maybe 30 seconds. But of course, I mean, the movement that he had was.
Last 2 questions really quick, because I see you got a beer to enjoy. Did you work on the campaign at all? No worries.
I voted for him in the primary and here. Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't work for him, but you voted for him in the primary. Yeah. Better than me. I'm a carpetbagger from California, so they're all good. But I was going to ask, what are you most excited for from his platform, his agenda, and maybe if you have some time, what are you most like? I'm worried. Like, what's your take?
Oh, it's going to be an uphill battle, but I think this is we have a amazingly charismatic, focused mayor who has, again, it's a people's movement. It's what Bernie ran on and everything. So hopefully it's not just him. I think he's going to inspire a lot of people to pick up grassroots movements, pick up take care of each other, and we'll see what happens. I'm cautiously optimistic. It's the institution he's assuming power to is built for people like Cuomo, and he's going to come in here and shake shit up. And I hope that these next 4 years are fruitful.
Me too, man. Thank you, Jay, so much for your time. This is on thisspace.tv. Check it out. YouTube. So, yeah, when I was saying that people I was talking to were very measured, that was like the first guy I talked to. And I was like, okay, he's going to get in the office. Like, what's going to happen? And I felt like he was fairly measured about it.
Yeah, he was boring. Did you get some turned up people or what? Where's the drunk people or what?
I'll go for more drunks next time, but I can go to the Irish guy. And Sandy was funny in this one. Maybe we'll get to that point where we can relive Sandy's French Canadian Irish accent. Which is just fully
French Canadian, okay.
Here we are. Yeah, some of my best friends are German. But anyways, they're watching Hellgate NYC feed. Hellgate is one of those like local. They're doing the live stream in there. Shout out to whoever hosts that. I unfortunately don't know. But yeah, I was going to. Here, excuse me. Sorry to interrupt. Anyone want to? You were just chatting the TV really fast. What? Do it again. Okay. Really quick. I'm Dan from the internet from This Space TV. What can I call you by?
Toig is my name.
Toy. Irish.
Toy.
Oh.
I was hoping he was going to be German.
So.
Yeah.
My apologies. How are you feeling from this tonight here?
Absolutely elated. I can't even put into words the sort of excitement that
I love the Irish.
I think is so palpable throughout the streets of the city tonight. It's not just about because it's not just about a victory of a political candidate. It's emblematic of a complete transition away from a status quo in a city where the status quo never benefits the people outside of a small pocket of the city.
There's a lot of great talent in not just New York City, but also around the United States right now. let's just say like around the world you're seeing, like Ireland just had some great elections too, actually, don't get me wrong, but what do you think this will mean for them? Like, is this like the shot in the arm that this coalition will need, that's like left of center, showing the Democratic Party that, you know, there is a broad coalition of people who want, at bare minimum, for Democrats to fight harder and for Republicans to not have the ability to destroy things they're doing right now? A little bit of a lead question, but go ahead.
So sorry, are you trying to ask the general opinion about our current status quo?
Yeah, your general opinion about how you think the Zoran race and this victory now could influence and motivate Canada across country.
First, commence with my concerns. I think, really, I'm actually very concerned. I think that Mamdani is going to become a lightning bolt for the status quo and the right, if you want to call it. He represents a change in the shift in the current status quo, like I said. I believe that they're going to throw everything in their power at him to try to stop that and maintain it. And then they'll be able to stand back and say, oh, look, this, you know, listening to the people, socialism thing doesn't work. And it's like, that's just one candidate, but they always look for just one excuse to try to rule out an entire movement and maintain the thing that predicates them, which is wealth and money. Am I hopeful? Yes, I'm really hopeful. I have to save myself from using a superlative there. I am incredibly hopeful. I think Mamdani represents a very simple thing. If you want to win in politics, listen to the people. When the majority of the people are struggling
Give this guy
with
a show.
basic needs, if you address those
Come on,
basic
good morning,
needs,
comrade. Yeah.
they're all here for you. It's very simple. Listen to the people, go out in the streets, talk to the people in the deli carts, talk to the people on the corner of the bodega, talk to the lads sitting on the side of the road like asleep, talk to the people that are on their way to work. Listen to them, and they'll tell you how to get into power.
Then you will have to compromise with the powerful people. And that's a problem usually. That's what happens in politics. You have to compromise with the powerful people, the people who have the power, even if you listen to the people.
No.
At one point,
compromise.
you get down. You see what I mean?
No, it's so true. It's so true.
So, how can the people give him the powers enough to not get compromised?
What? I'll let someone on my team ask a question, but I want to ask one thing for you. What does this? I asked about what this could do for other candidates. What do you think it could do for you, the group of people who were grouped up here? I mean, the Democratic Socialists in New York did a really good work, not just putting together some of these watch party events, but also the get out to vote. I'll skip through this part a little bit, just because, like, I can already see Bama's board, but I know there's a bit where we'll start to get Sandy's accent, so that's kind of fun. The random German guy who's like kind of moderate there was a little bit of a curveball. I was trying to like work through, but how I believe.
Dan.
Unfortunately, I'm English, but I'm from Manchester, so I'm one of the good ones, I hope.
Ask him about Zach Polanski and the Green Party.
We don't hate the English people. We dislike
Sandy.
the English as an institution. English people are wonderful people.
Boo!
Tyke, come on, good morning, comrade.
Pleasure to meet you. Yes. And all my
can go on my
co-hosts
show
are saying,
too.
like, you need your own show or something. So you got the voice, you got the passion. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just forgetting.
Sorry, I'm talking. I'll be right back.
I would love to have
Christina!
God, I forgot his name already. I would love
Since
to
I
have
just heard the Irish accent, I can maintain this for all of 10 minutes.
Boy, I got me hat and I got my beer. I'm
Oh,
ready
this
for
is
this.
so
You
racist.
see, this is why we can
This
talk
is
about
racist,
Zach
bro.
Polanski and the Green Party because he's also bringing up a lot of energy over in the UK area.
Okay, stop it.
You're still soaking.
This is really racist because if the dude was Indian and they started doing this, that would be racist. So what they're doing is racist. I'm standing up for the Irish people once again.
One of the worst traits I have with my accent is that certain other accents make my British one come out. And I was at a really good friend of mine's house who's Indian, and her mom was making food. And, you know, we were chatting and stuff, and I was like helping her out and everything. And my British accent started coming out. as this Indian woman was speaking to me. I had to very consciously be like, no. So like it's difficult.
Somebody's got to stand up for our people, Bad Lefty. Damn. Yo, you just let them do that? You see what happens?
This is why you need representation on the left. If there aren't enough Irish people, then, we end up just trampling over everyone's rights.
It's just me. Look at this comment. Indian is a race, Irish isn't. Look at the justification for the racism against our people, Dan.
Oh, man.
I'm not even going to get into that. But Bad Lefty, just know that I'm over here standing up for arguably the most oppressed people in the last 400 years. Arguably.
Debatably.
You can debate it. Where's Philippe?
Shout out Philippe. And shout out Hooligan as well. Bad Lefty, come over to YouTube so I can ban you. No, but already 21 seconds over time, but I feel like we did a nice little ending there. Overall, this was one of the better weeks we've done a Power Report in as far as like the news and what we have to talk about in a year. And I think Trump is going to be scared by this and is going to ramp up all the terrible things that he's been doing, because he may realize that the amount of time he has to do these things is no longer a 4-year foreseeable thing, and maybe not even a 2-year foreseeable thing, but like he may have months left for the craziest parts of his agenda. And so he's going to go whole hog. He's going to like Hail Mary it. We have a better deck stack now. We have a better narrative. We got to like reshuffle the cards to continue the analogy. And there is now something the left can build off of through all these nationwide wins. We didn't even talk about how Atlanta got rid of it's a really unique city thing I'm not going to go into, but basically you had a board of judges who like basically controlled all the utilities in the Atlanta metro area. And they went from being all ran by business-friendly conservatives to being a bunch of liberal judges. So like that's amazing. And shout out to Atlanta for doing that, because there was no coverage about that. Everyone wants to talk about Zohran Mamdani. No one wants to talk about a committee for managing electricity in the metro Atlanta area, right? But that's how powerful this shit is. That's what we build off of to hopefully try to get ourselves out of this mess. And you better hope that Bam is not on one of those juries when Dictator Dan starts running trials for ICE agents, because Bam is not going to be the juror you want.
I got a forgiving heart.
Bam, like, let him go.
I'm like, oh, come on.
I'll hire you as private security. No, you won't.
Let him clean the graffiti. He's got to die.
Yeah, sentence him to Caltrans.
Feel me? Let him clean the metro.
We got an orange jumpsuit and a little stick you can poke some cans with right here.
Let him be the third rail tester.
This has been your Power Report. The Power Report is approximately 800 kilovolts. Yeah, no, this has been the show. Thank you very much for listening and watching. We'll be replaying on This Space TV on Tuesdays. We may not have an episode next week. I'll be real, because I will be traveling. So meme of like being unshackled, and that's Bam. But yeah, we will be back.
Give me free.
We will be back in the next episode once that comes. And as always, the power is always with you, inshallah. Peace.